You know what I love?
Sports.
Love sports.
Sports. When
It comes to Texas A&M.
Where are you getting this information?
Let me tell you.
Welcome to TexAgs.
It's here. It's time. There's always a buzz in the air when you hit this moment.
He is a guy that has gotten better and better and better. He's just got that dog in him.
We will develop men. We will graduate players, and we will win championships on the field.
I think of him as this hawk. Before long, he's going to be swooping in on those quarterbacks.
And they embody what the school is about. It's about getting into hard situations and getting ourselves out. It's about working hard. It's about doing amazing things.
And this is a real program. It's not fake. This is a real place. And if you want to be really good at football, this is a really good place to be.
You know, if I'm betting on anybody, it's the Aggies.
This probably won't surprise you, but I know I don't have an effect on the outcome of games, okay?
Even if you sit in the same place?
Well, I feel that has a little bit of an effect, but I'm saying physically and mentally, I don't have but I treat stuff like I do have an effect on games. And what I mean by that is...
Yeah, please explain.
This is about the baseball series. There's a big one this weekend. I don't know if you know about that.
I've heard about that.
All right, and I'm freaking focused for it, all right?
Okay.
I'm almost angry, like let's Braveheart, let's go to war, okay?
All right, you're going to paint your face blue, okay.
Or maroon, right? But I know I don't have an effect on it. And I'm going to use my daughter here as the example. When their season ended last Friday, okay, in soccer,
right,
for Consol, I literally wanted to start working out that evening for her. I wanted my off season to begin. I was like, sweetie, let's work out tonight. Like that's how I know I don't have an effect on her or anybody else, but so I cannot wait. I know they're going to be, if I'm this focused, I know that program is that focused.
Yeah, they're going to be focused. Of course, I reckon the other one's going to be focused too.
Good. I want both double focus.
Beat them at their best, right?
Beat them at their freaking best.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I wish I could go tonight, but I have other priorities.
Yep.
You know, it's ring day.
Ring day,
for my
let's
niece,
go.
Hence my T-shirt saying Texas Aggie's uncle.
All right.
So she gets her ring today, and then, of course, we're going to be celebrating tonight.
Yeah.
So that takes priority, even over this game. But I intend to be there on Saturday and Sunday. And I may actually, I'm very stoic at a game, you know that.
Yeah.
But
like me.
I might bring myself to yell, some epitaphs at the opposing coach.
Fire me now, punk!
Write that!
Well, Nick and I have already discussed the proper way an Aggie to yell at somebody.
Judas?
No, you just yell, way to strike out, loser!
Strike out, loser.
Yeah, that's it. Just be nice. But
no,
you don't need to say, bleepity bleep, loser. It's just, you struck out, you loser.
Well, I'm not gonna call him a loser because he's clearly not.
Oh, okay.
He's a really good baseball coach.
And I listened to his press conference yesterday.
Yeah, and he was taking the high road, right?
Well, because I know there's a game that's always being played.
Yeah, you're not really believing it, right?
I do believe it to a point.
To a point. The 12th man was good.
But I know some people know how to be, ham it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I've hammed it up before, right? Like, you've hammed it up. We've all hammed it. That's a lot of ham.
I don't think you'd I think ham would have too many calories for you.
I've eaten ham before. It's processed though, so I prefer
probably before the health thing that you got into.
Well,
but anyway,
everybody says I've lost too much weight recently, so I'm bulking up. I'm back. I'm gonna get fat again.
I've been bulking up for like a year. For like 10 years. Yeah, maybe actually a lifetime.
We call it body recomp. That's it. Anyway, so I saw the press conference. I thought he took the high road as expected. The guy is like, there's a politician vibe to him, right? Like he said, look, I had a very good, I would not say we were friends, okay? We didn't go to dinner. We didn't chit chat. We would text every once in a while, typically about the show. We weren't buddies, but we were very cool. I actually appreciate the relationship I had with him on this show, right?
Mm-hmm. I did too until.
Well, he crossed the line with you, buddy.
Until that one.
Yeah. And you know how I am. I'm on your team.
Yeah,
somebody crosses you, I'm ready to go.
We're teammates, man. We're
There
teammates.
was an Instagram reel that showed up the other day that I should have sent to you, but you don't know
Okay,
Instagram.
somebody else is attacking me.
You've seen the Ben, what was it called? The Town?
The Town.
The movie The Town with Ben Affleck?
No,
you would love that movie.
Ben Affleck, so I didn't watch it.
Well, this movie you would like.
Okay, all right.
And he goes to his best friend. He goes, hey, we're going to have to hurt some people here in a minute.
Okay.
You can't ask any questions. And his best friend looks at him and goes, what car are we taking? No question.
There you go.
That's what I am for you, buddy.
Let's just go hit him.
So, Schloss, don't say anything about my guy, OB, unless it's true. And then we'll laugh together. Anyway, I'm very focused for the series. I know they are. I know our fans are. Leading up to it, I was at a point like, are we still as mad? Are we still as mad as we were 2 years ago? And I didn't think we were.
Yeah.
And now it's game day. Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
we're freaking mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he lied. I mean, first of all, it would have been bad enough. It would have been bad enough that Judas left. That's bad enough.
Yeah.
Judas, Brutus. Benedict Arnold. That's all. Think of every traitor. That's bad enough. Okay. Yeah. But then when you lie about it, when it was well known in major league circles for over a month, and then you have the audacity to attack Richard Zane, who's just doing his job, for asking the question that you already know the answer to, and act like there's no question, and then you do all that. I think that burns the bridges. That bombs the bridges, kind of like in Iran.
Bombs over Baghdad. We can hear that song coming back from Outkast. Anyway, I hope a lot of people bottle that anger in a respectful way. I want it to be a fun series. Baseball is a looser environment, right? But I do want it to be intense, but it has to be intense with wins.
Yeah. But, here's the thing. I don't know what to expect from Aggies because, look, Aggies, I love you. I want to be with, I want to be one. But are you going to do like this lame when he comes out and go, I don't want that. I might do something like that and maybe extend just one of the,
Just raise your middle finger a little higher?
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. I think there's going to be a lot of hand gestures. And I think there's going to be a lot of...
Yeah, they do that. The Yale leaders do that.
Yeah, but do it with a different meaning. All these things. But, be loud.
I just broke
Be extremely loud, Aggies. I know you will. I don't have to tell you, but I would like to be sitting up in the student section.
Yeah, but I'm pumped. Don't give me any more caffeine because I might have.
Bring him a catalyst.
You know what? I
wonder who's going to be the catalyst tonight.
Grahovic, Sorrell, Shane Sadeo. Bro, if Shane Sadeo's the catalyst, vamos a ganar.
Just Shane, just go attack on tonight with pure performance energy.
I love that, buddy. We don't even rehearse this.
I know. We don't rehearse anything.
No, we just literally. I walk in at 7:56 and we begin.
There we go.
But there is some preparation that goes involved. I have an angle, right? And I heard this on the B team yesterday.
Okay.
And I don't think I have the historical context.
I've never been on the B team.
I don't think I have either. Huh. They don't invite old people on. Yeah. They only invite young, hip people.
The people want
Brauninger on.
The people want OB on the B team.
They do.
I would probably get
you and Bronny together is pretty funny.
I would probably get myself in trouble. It's probably best. But anyway, you do prepare.
I do prepare. Yeah, but that's we had another point. Oh, I heard on the B team. Okay? The B team. Richard called it, and I'm see if I can have the exact line. And I don't have the historical context to be able to answer that correctly. Maybe the best regular season, college season environment ever. Okay? College baseball, regular season game environment ever.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know what else I would compare it to.
I've been to Rice games. I've been to U of H games. I have been to Aggie games. I've been to University of Miami games, and that's about it. And that seems like a lot, but I have not been to other stuff.
Right.
But I expect it to be up there. I don't have the historical I can't go 40 years, 50 years maybe Durham Doc can tell us, but we won't know until tonight.
Right. Did he say forever or just Texas A&M?
I think he was just talking. I don't think he had and we can ask him on the
He's probably
lunch.
There with as big a regular season game and as hostile environment as you would ever see.
Yeah.
Now, maybe there was an LSU Florida series one time, but I don't know. Just throwing something out there. Or back in the day when Arizona State was great, or Oklahoma, something like that. But this is as good as most. And you know what? You have a hard time thinking in any sport of a coach that left his team before, to go to a rival before Schlossnagle did. I mean, directly. I guess you say Dana Bible way back when things were different. And then I think, Kiffin to LSU maybe.
Yep.
But this was, after you were in the championship and all those things, and again, you lied about it. Yeah.
An inning away from winning it all.
Maybe even a pop fly, a pop foul ball. But anyway.
Anyway, I can't wait. I hope you guys are excited about it. I had something I wanted to talk about, but I lost it because I have a senior moment.
There I go again.
But Shane Sadeo. He's going to go tonight.
All right.
All right. And then tomorrow, Aiden Sims.
How about that?
And then a TBD or TBA is to be announced.
TBD would work too, to be determined.
I'm more of a TBD guy.
Okay.
Are you more of a TBA guy?
I'm more of a TBA guy.
You like to be announced. I like to be determined.
The more mature Olin Buchanan just passed up an opportunity. But yes, I am a TBA guy.
Will you tell me at the break?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. It's a fun show.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
If sports are fun.
I hope Monday's fun. I hope we don't walk in here Monday like, the Nuño upset guy.
We're going to be talking like softball like crazy if things don't go well.
No, I think we'll probably look back a little bit, but look, go well. Oh, this is what I was going to say. What if? And I do not expect this to happen. In fact, I know it won't happen.
Okay.
But what if? Yesterday we were talking about, I think with you, maybe it wasn't with you, maybe it was with another human. Remember some of the most explosive environments at Kyle Field? And I thought 2 years ago, LSU. Okay? I thought 2 seasons ago, the LSU environment, the pregame fights, remember there was that whole, okay?
Yeah.
What if we get that today?
Turner.
We won't, but what if?
Yeah, I don't think they will, but I would like to.
They're a little classier.
I would like. You know what it would take? It would take probably somebody who actually played for A&M under Schlossnagle to say something.
Well, there's only 7 that are here that played for him.
And I don't think they would. But what if Grahovec or Sorrell or somebody went over and yelled at something in the dugout? And
We're kidding.
When Clemens,
we're kidding, Michael or Coach Early. We're
not
kidding.
saying, we're just saying what if. Remember when Clemens' son hit a home run and then was taunting the Aggie bench as he came by, and then later that year, the Aggies, I think it was that same year. I might get them wrong, but I just remember the Aggies knocked them out of Omaha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if the people know what show they're listening to.
They probably figured it out that it's TexAgs Live.
And we are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers.
Heck yeah. America starts with A&M.
And Rollo Insurance is all about America.
Heck yeah. Jason Jackson, Keith Morgan, a bunch of patriots over there.
Bunch of patriots. This hour is about America. It's the Go Hour.
The Go Hour, brought to you by the Warehouse at CC Creations. What's more American than a warehouse?
Nothing.
And creating something. CC Senior.
Creations, yeah. And there's, you know what? You know what America likes to do?
Make money?
Yeah, and holistically plan.
Heck yeah. Holistically plan to make money.
Yeah.
In the cool zone.
In the very cool zone that we're sitting at right now. And also, America loves to use technology to call and text.
Yeah. On like the Puppies Catering and Bartending Hotline, which is 979-693-1150.
You say it like you're angry.
I am angry. The Longhorns are coming to town. The Schlossnagle. I just, what was that, Maria?
That's not her favorite moment.
And yet probably her greatest moment.
It was fantastic.
The Schlosshorns are coming down. I'm angry.
And Catalyst Pure Performance Energy text line. This is an exciting show.
It is exciting.
Let's see if I crash.
Exciting day.
Yeah. Let's go around the room, left to right, behind the glass. Nick Savage, are you meeting our level of excitement?
I am. I was asking Kay when I first saw her this morning, I was like, does this feel like a football game day to you? And she's like, yeah, it does. That's really the first time for me for an Aggie baseball game to feel like this one does. And I'm like, yo, I just hope something good happens out of it. At least I think it's more so, we talk about the guys that played under Schloss, but like they faced him last year, right? Nothing crazy happened there. I think this is so much more to do with the 12th man greeting the former coach for the first time back at, here in College Station. So I think that's what it's going to be, and hopefully we get some closure out of it.
Man, I hope he's the anti-Daniel.
The anti-Daniel?
Yeah, what the biblical Daniel, what did he do?
Remind me.
He went into the lion's den.
Yeah.
And he was safe. You know, the Lions.
Yeah.
I hope he goes into the Lions den and the Lions ripping the
that's what you mean by anti-Daniel. Okay.
Anti-Daniel.
Yes. So you want the Lions to rip them up?
Yes.
I want a bunch
I'm very biblical today. I'm talking about Judas. I'm talking about Daniel. But
you can ponytail it. I just realized
I'm working on it. Remember somebody last week said I was the football coach equivalent of Mike Gundy?
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, yeah, let's do it.
You do look like I told you yesterday, like a 90s biker movie grandfather. You know, like you led the pack.
I'm the leader of the pack.
And whenever there's like, gang wars, they have to come to you to get it approved.
That's right. Let's have a
gang war. Can we go after that
family? You were approved, Michael Early, to go and wreak havoc on the Longhorns.
Somebody texted in, what was it? I think it was Elizabeth. Let me see if Reese, what did she say? Schloss bags. Yeah. Schloss bag.
Okay.
Kind of like, never mind. Colonoscopy bag. Anyway, let's go to the AP Elephant News and Social Center. Better than the other one I could have said.
Yeah, I know.
FCC violation here on the program. Niger, it's a Friday. Can you feel it?
I can feel it. It is.
Try to curb that enthusiasm, son.
Can you please match the energy?
I'm sorry. I don't get to go to the games this weekend. It's my mom's birthday, so I have to go.
You could still be angry.
I am angry.
You're at the Angry Elephant there.
I am at the Angry Elephant, and I also was in Omaha for that, and it was afterwards. It was not.
Yeah.
It was not good. Not having fun. Speaking of having fun, football time in Aggie land with Argentina and Honduras set to face off at Kyle Field on June 6th as a part of the Road to 26 presented by Turkish Airlines. Argentina third in the FIFA rankings thanks to a star-studded roster headlined by none other than some people's GOAT of soccer, Lionel Messi. Tickets will go on sale Wednesday, April 15th at 9 a.m. on roadto26.com.
Super excited. Richard Zane, I think it was Richard, pretty sure, reminded me, like, this is pretty cool, right? And sometimes in our business, we forget how cool it is.
Yeah.
Walking on Kyle Field, taking pictures, talking about the match. I love Kyle Field as a destination for other events. I love it for football.
Yeah.
But, like, this summer, let's do 1 or 2, 3 events. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, look, I use my truck to go to work and to go do fun things and visit places, but I also use to haul stuff. It doesn't have to be used for have one thing to use it for. You can use it for multiple purposes. Same way with Kyle Field.
Yeah. You can do.
Hey, you went to that press conference yesterday.
Yeah.
Did they serve food? I heard
they did not.
Oh,
they did not.
There was a rumor that they were serving food.
No, they didn't. It's all right, though. You know what I ate? I ate the environment up.
Oh, you ate the environment.
Yeah.
How good was that environment?
It was fantastic.
All right.
My boy Fernando Palomo, he was there.
How was he?
Yeah.
Those Palomos.
Fernando was there.
They have a pupusa?
There was no pupusas there.
Okay.
No.
That's the national food of El Salvador.
We had Trev Alberts there.
Trev, okay.
Mayor Nichols was there.
I didn't even know who the mayor was.
Yeah, that's my guy. He helped start the College Station Soccer Club. Guy's a legend in the market. So yeah, it was great having
Maybe you can do something to help us out with some of these utility bills.
Oh. It was good to catch up with all them. I got to actually moderate or whatever, introduce them. It was fun. It was good. It was a good time. Anyway, let's hit a break.
Okay.
And do more. How about that?
All right, let's do that.
Yeah. I don't know. I had a segue, but I couldn't think of it.
Go ahead.
So, okay.
Well, I tried to give you a segue.
Where was the segue? The Lions then?
If they had any food at
that was your... Oh, I thought you were actually asking, and I'll tell you why I thought you were asking that at the break. There's a reason behind it.
Okay.
Anyway...
but if they really wanted to make a big impact at that press conference,
you know what?
They could have catered it. They could have served food.
Yeah, I get it that Messi might be here, but if you want to get messy with your ribs, but enjoy every taste, go ahead, do something. Give me something.
Messy with your ribs, just eat a whole mess of those ribs.
A whole
at
mess of it.
1775. You know what? A guy like Messi was the GOAT, as you might be the GOAT.
Might.
Well, then when he comes to town, he should be able to sample the possible GOAT of soccer or football should be treated to the absolute GOAT of Texas barbecue.
Yeah.
1775.
You know what?
What?
I don't think the Longhorns can go today. I think today's all about Aggies at 17. Actually, they can go too. We can break bread together.
Yeah, well, they have a tendency to go hang around a cemetery and
it's close by.
They can just drive a few more miles and be at 1775.
It's the place to go. It's the place to eat. It's going to be packed today. It's
Get
going
them
to
some
be packed
queso
tomorrow.
mac and cheese.
Oh, come on, buddy.
Yeah, you better get there early because, during game days, during football season, they sell out. They typically sell out early because they open up around 11 and they just go until they're sold out. And I've been there at noon and gotten, hey, we're sorry we're sold out. Well, like Nagley and Nick was saying, this is like a football weekend.
It is. And if you want the Aggies to win, do your part. Go to 1775. It does make it deepens the, not deepens, it makes an impact.
It does make an impact.
In the community and in Aggie baseball. 1775.
And in your stomach.
Ay, que rico. 1775 txbbq.com. It's great.
It's good.
It's fantastic.
Awesome.
It's better.
It's the GOAT.
It's really
like
good.
Like Messi.
Can we keep going?
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back. Hey everyone, David Nuño here of TexAgs Live. I want to introduce you to the team at Holistic Planning. Got Jason Barber here, Taylor Pankratz, and also Paul Meredith. Jason, I want to start off with you. What really sets Holistic Planning apart from the others?
Yeah, so what makes us different is most financial advisors stop at investment management. On the other hand, Holistic Planning, we manage investments, taxes, and estate planning all on one team, all underneath one roof.
Now, Taylor, when everything is coordinated like that, it really helps the bottom line, doesn't it?
It really does. When your investments and taxes are working together, you stop leaving money on the table and keep more of what's yours.
Paul, Holistic Planning is trying to expand as well.
That's true. We just opened our Houston office, and we're looking for people who feel like their advisor isn't seeing the full picture, because that's exactly what we fix.
And Jason, there's other opportunities beyond that.
Definitely. If you're a financial advisor and you want to join the Holistic Planning team, we're looking to add 50 teams in the next 5 to 10 years. So check out holisticplanning.com/advisors.
All right, so if you want a team that actually coordinates everything, go to holisticplanning.com. Aggies, this one is worth it. And we're back on TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. Go Hour, presented by the Warehouse at CC Creations. So I asked Nick Savage to get a picture up. And before we do that, let me just set it up like this. As we were going to break, I looked at Obie. I go, kind of remind me of Sam Elliott. All right? And then I said the younger Sam Elliott, not like the one that was in 1883. Like he was, he's like 63.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. He's older than that. But
I think he's around his age. He's in Landman now.
Oh, is he? I haven't gotten that far into it.
He's Tommy Norris's dad.
Oh, what a character to have.
Yeah.
Well, in Roadhouse, we've got a picture of it.
Roadhouse.
Look at freaking Olin Buchanan in Roadhouse. Look at that. I see it. If you just let it grow a little bit longer, that's you.
You know what? That's a compliment. I wish that was the case. And more importantly, Irma Buchanan probably wishes that was the case.
He does look like a glamour shot there. That's a good look. I can see you doing that. A little more tan, a little longer.
That hurts, don't it? I think most people say I look more like Son of Sam.
I wouldn't say that.
No, I don't look like David Berkowitz. But yeah, that's nice. I would take that as a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah.
I've been called Colonel Sanders. I've been called called Jesus. I've been called Mark Twain and now Sam Elliott. I would say, no offense, Jesus, but I'm just talking about in
appearance.
The way I look. Because look, I mean, you can't be like Jesus.
No.
But Sam Elliott, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Who's he married to? He's married to somebody famous.
Kim Elliott. I just made that up. I don't know.
No, he's got a famous actress wife. I just don't know who it is.
3 things we want to see this weekend. A lot of yelling going on the show today.
I want to see a win on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Sweet.
But I know you want more than that. We're going to go dive deeper into that.
Okay.
Catherine Ross from the Stepford Wives and The Graduate.
No clue. At this moment,
You saw the movie The Graduate?
Yeah, 40 years ago.
All right, Elaine, the one that's driving...
She's kind of attractive in the movie?
Yeah, she's very pretty. She's the one that Dustin Hoffman was, with the mother. And she's the daughter.
Okay.
That he ends up with. Okay. It's Catherine Ross. Very
Ross.
good. Very nice job, Sam.
Way to go, Sam.
I think I got you beating wives, though.
3 things we want to see. I want to see an offensive explosion.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Just yard.
Yeah.
Yard
dogs.
Yeah. I want to see the starting pitching give her some length.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Give me quality. I would if I had to pick, I would take 6 shutout innings, but I'm just saying realistic. 3-4 runs, 5 innings with this offense. Let's go.
Aiden Sims held Vanderbilt, which might, I'm not saying they do, but might have a more potent lineup than Texas.
So let's do that.
He had them shut out.
And the third thing I want to see?
3.
The rowdiest of rowdies.
The rowdiest of rowdies.
But I want it all 3 days. I don't want it just rowdy Friday because we feel bad. No, we win Friday. We win Saturday. We win Sunday. And we're sawing varsity's horns off.
Yeah. I'm going to say, kind of piggyback what you were talking about, is that I want to see Shane Sadeo at his Shane Sadeo best. I want to see guys get the timely hits, when don't leave people in scoring position. I know you're going to leave guys on base, but don't leave anybody in scoring position, right?
Yeah.
And then the bullpen, but you're going to have to rely on the bullpen at some point. I want to see that bullpen come in and be Oschenbeck-like.
Oschenbeck-like.
Man, I missed that guy. Oschenbeck. I missed him.
Yeah, I did too. All right, way to break. We'll come back. Should we do a little Aggie football talk on the other side?
Of course.
We're going to do a whole hour of baseball. We can continue. If people want to call in and talk baseball, I'll pause my football talk.
Yeah.
But I want to hear from the humans. What was that song?
I don't know.
It was a good song, though. 979-693-1150. That is the Catalyst Pure Performance Energy text line. Are you ready to go to battle this weekend? Are you ready? Are you bringing it? Are you coming? Are you ready? Are you yelling? I need to hear all 3 of those. And if you speed on your way over here and you get pulled over, hopefully you have really good insurance. Because Rollo Insurance will... You got a thought?
No, I'm saying nice.
It wasn't my best segue. I've had better ones.
But it's okay.
It works.
It's a base hit.
Yeah, you know what? It's a single.
Okay.
I'll take it. Right? Get on base. All right? And if you get on base and you don't have good insurance, well, that's bad. I don't know where I'm going to go with this, but bottom line is have good insurance.
I want to see the Aggies with a 1-run lead, and then, like in the 7th inning or 8th inning, whenever, I want to see somebody come up and act like Rollo Insurance and give them some great insurance.
Yes.
Even more insurance. Insurance that will not fail.
Yes. Yeah. You may have protection that you think covers you, but you don't.
You don't.
I know you don't. Unless you have Rollo Insurance, then I know you do.
Then you do.
Yeah.
The show today. Then you do.
I'm just going to give you the website. Jason Jackson and the boys, I'm sorry. 888 or phone number 888-44-ROLLO. Or go to rolloinsurance.com/TexAgs. rolloinsurance.com/TexAgs. I wish I had Olin here for it because he loves energy drinks. Catalyst Citrus Spark. This is one of the new flavors out there. Whether you're grinding through workouts, cramming for a test, or closing in on a deal or getting ready for TexAgs Live, you never know, right? Fast becoming the go-to fuel for Aggies everywhere. Zero sugar. I'm all in for that. Or synthetic sweeteners, no artificial colors or flavors. Catalyst delivers clean, high-performance energy with smooth, crisp taste that is never syrupy, designed for both health and hustle. You want to get going, you use this Catalyst right here. It's about pure energy and pure results. And what sets them apart? Packed with premium nootropics blended to boost focus, clarity, and mental stamina. I need this. I'm in, guys. I'm in. Plus, with plant-based caffeine, vitamin B12, B6, Catalyst supports metabolism and energy production, making it more than a drink. It's your lifestyle training partner. Built for competitors on the field, Catalyst fuels strength, focus, and pure results. Buy now at drinkcatalyst.com. That is drinkcatalyst.com. Train harder, think sharper, pure results. It's Catalyst. Couple of texts to get into.
Yeah.
Buddy Philip texted the show.
Uh-huh.
What's up, Philip? I haven't watched the show in a while. He's been listening. When did OB turn into the dude from the Big Lebowski?
I like the bowl.
Yeah.
I like the dude. El Duderino. That's a nice compliment.
That's quality. And I haven't seen that movie though.
You should see it.
Yeah, there's certain movies that
it beats being called Uncle Rico.
Uncle Rico was you for a little while. Let's be honest. That was like it was you.
It was. I can't deny it.
He also sent me a text a couple days ago that I didn't get on the show, but you saw the fight in baseball with Anaheim. When was that? Like 3 days.
That.
Oh, it was a good fight. Anaheim and who again? Remind me?
The Braves.
Braves. That's right. And he sent me this text. Apparently, Walt Weiss is a black belt in Taekwondo with some BJJ background. He takes Jorge down during the brawl.
Walter Weiss? Is that the former shortstop for the Rangers?
For the Oakland A's is the way I like to remember him. Yes.
Well, yes. I think he came up with the Rangers, if I'm not mistaken.
No, he came up
I
with
could
the
be
A's.
wrong. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, he came up with the A's. But well, maybe he did come up with it. I thought he was a rookie of the A's.
I don't know. I don't know that much baseball.
But apparently he knows BJJ. All right. He's now my favorite.
BJ who?
BJJ. Add the other J.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I heard of BJ Thomas. He was from East Texas.
He's a good dude.
Or at least lived there for a while.
Oh, B, I got a football question for you to chew on.
Let's do it.
This question, I don't want to go Captain Obvious here, okay? So we're not talking Marcel.
Okay, not Marcel.
Which A&M player has the most to prove in 2026? I have some answers.
Okay.
But I want to hear your answers.
How about if I suggest that to be Isaiah Horton?
Okay.
How about that? Because he's got to prove that he can step in, and he doesn't have to do all the things Casey Concepcion did, but he's got to prove that, yes, he does feel that need of a big receiver that can go up and get those 50-50 balls for A&M. And he's got to show that, I don't have to do it the same way KC did. I don't have to do as much, but I have to prove that I can be a guy that makes sure that A&M receiving core doesn't take a dramatic step back.
Yeah.
That's just off the top of my head. Okay, what do you think?
I'm going to give you Reuben Owens.
Okay.
I think Reuben Owens, I have a lot of faith in Reuben Owens. I believe the stuff that I've been seeing and reading about him and what Billy said, I believe he's getting better and he's bulkier, stronger, moving better. But I think he needs to prove that he can be the RB1.
Okay.
And he's been the RB1.
He led the Aggies in rushing last year.
But I want to see a better version of that. I want to see the one we saw in Austin felt too much, right? Like I want to see a guy who
I want to see that
Le'Veon-esque.
That Missouri.
Yeah.
That Missouri Reuben.
Yeah.
Or that he didn't have a lot of rushing yards, but I was watching the Notre Dame game last night. And, we forget Reuben had a really big catch down to the 4-yard line that set up a touchdown. So,
that's right.
Yeah. The best that be the Reuben Owens that we all envisioned coming out of
high school.
A 5-star recruit out of El Campo High School. El Campo, what's that El Campo?
Rice Birds.
Rice Birds.
The Birds of Rice. All right. How about DJ Hicks?
Rice Birds, aren't those owls?
Yeah.
Okay. DJ Hicks. Well, DJ Hicks, what he needs to prove is, because I think he's already proven himself to be a very good starter, but
next level.
I want, I always thought that he might be the next Justin Matabike. That level of defensive tackle. I think he still can be.
Yep.
Prove it. Prove me right, DJ. By the way, what about that defensive line? We could have DJ, CJ, and TJ, as well as Marco Jones, who then will, of course, just call MJ.
Yeah, sorry to take your line. How about Marco Jones? I mean,
Marco Jones. He's only a sophomore.
He's only a sophomore, but can he make I want to say dramatic step in the Cassius Howell department? Doesn't have to give me, multiple double-digit sacks, but can he be a force that changes games?
And if not, Anto Saka, who I suggested if he is getting in the backfield a lot and providing a pass rush, he should change the pronunciation to Anto Saka, much like Joe Theismann changed his name to Theismann.
Did you know that?
I did not know
That's
that.
actual true story. Yeah. And he still goes by Theismann.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to throw another one for you.
Throw another one, Marcel.
Des Ricks.
Okay.
Des has had this, I think, steady increase.
Okay.
I want him to take a bigger step this year.
Okay. But how about if I flip that just to the other side of the field and said, Ricky Gibson.
Let's go.
Prove that you've come back from injury strong and you're as good as everybody says they are. So A&M is solid at both corners.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Okay. Is Ricky Gibson at his best? And I really need to go back and watch to answer this question. Is he Will Lee or is he better?
I don't know. The hype is he's as good.
Right.
So, you know what? If he's as good as Will Lee, I'll take that.
We'll take that. And if he's as good as Will Lee, and I believe Des Ricks will continue to improve. And they were pretty good last year. The secondary was pretty good. We need more interceptions.
Yeah, we do.
I forget who was in the studio. Nick pointed out that I asked, I think it was Nick who asked, blunt question, like, when are you guys going to get more interceptions? I don't think I phrased it like that, but something to that effect.
Yeah, they need to, take a cue from one of the most famous A&M defensive backs of all time, Lester Hayes, and just sneak a whole lot of stick 'em on their gloves right there. Remember, Lester Hayes once intercepted a pass without catching it?
Yeah.
It just stuck to his stick 'em. Anyway.
How about Ray Coney?
Ray Coney.
Can he?
He was 10th in the nation in total tackles last year.
Okay. So
10, a freaking 10.
Do it again.
10, a freaking 10. Who does that?
I don't know.
Billy Bob from Varsity Blues.
I don't remember things like you guys do. Your memory. I know you forgot, what you ate yesterday, but you remember movie. You and Billy. Gabe remembers sports.
Gabe
stuff,
remembers everything,
right?
My wife remembers everything. If it was something I did wrong.
Well, I might have onset dementia, early onset, because I'll know Godfather quotes.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll know Rocky quotes, right? If he dies, he dies.
If he dies, he dies.
Right? I got that. But you guys remember, I don't know, what was the Sherman Hemsley show? The Jeffersons. Right? You remember lines from the Jeffersons. Wheezy?
I do remember some. Yeah. Really good. I remember one time. Never mind. I'll leave it.
All right. So we're saying Ray Coney.
Ray Coney.
All right. Here's what I think he could prove. Needs to prove. Is he better than Torian York? Torian York was very good for this program for 3 years. Okay. Can he be that or better?
You know what? I'm going to take that a step further, and I'm not even going to put it on Ray Coney. This is just a part of Ray Coney can be a part of this equation here. Can Texas A&M stop giving up the big run at such volume? 41 runs of 20 yards or more over the last 2 seasons, which is the most in the SEC.
Yeah, you're not going to win. You're not going to win double-digit games doing that. Just not with this schedule this year.
So, can Ray Coney be a part of that solution?
I'm just going to throw one. I don't think he has anything to prove. The only thing he'd have to prove is it wasn't just a sample set. This is who he is. Damian Sanford, let's do it again. Let's run it back.
I just want to see Damian Sanford be like what I saw Edgerrin Cooper do, Torian York do, Buddy Johnson. Just get better.
Yeah.
Just get better. Remember, Buddy Johnson was a nice player, and then the next year he was really good. Torian York, Edgerrin Cooper, good player, and then it was real good player. And then, man, he's a freaking great player. Should have been taken in the first round by the Dallas Cowboys, but they never listened to me.
Yeah, so I agree with that. Reese Nygren, do you have anybody that has to prove themselves this year?
Dalton Brooks.
Not prove he can catch?
Prove that he can catch and prove that he could be like a top tier.
He's
safety.
Always had that genetic profile, right?
He's always had that potential. You just want him to actually hit that potential. So I would
he was really good last year.
Yeah, he was good, but I feel like there's still a whole nother level that Dalton Brooks could hit. So my pick would be Dalton Brooks.
I think if Dalton Brooks learns to be a better tackler in the open field, I keep going back to this touchdown run against Notre Dame had, where it was one-on-one at the line of scrimmage with Dalton, and he missed the tackle. That was a good running back. I think it was Price. But if he becomes a reliable tackler, he plays in the NFL for 10 years, I believe.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's see if Nick Savage has one to offer. Nick, do you have a person that has something to prove this year? And by the way, this is not necessarily a negative, proving that you can take a big step up. Who's the guy on your list?
Well, I kind of like a few of the guys y'all have already said. My first pick would have been Reuben Owens. I think he's going to be the feature back now, so give him a chance to see how he does. And then, Mario Craver.
What's up with his eyes?
I don't know.
Bull Hurley.
you could say Mario Craver is going to be wide receiver 1 now, or 1A with, Horton being 1B, however you want to put it. But I'd say Mario Craver, I'd like to see how he performs as the kind of go-to guy now that KC is gone. And then on the defensive side, I'm going to go Damian Sanford as well, just because he's stepping into the leadership role in that linebacker room and center of the defense. So we'll see how he does.
And we missed the obvious one.
What's that?
Well, I don't know if we can say one person, but there's 4 new offensive linemen replacing a really good line last year. Maybe not great, but really good. So can all those guys like Formby and Adams and
I talked to Formby yesterday.
Yeah,
my new best friend.
He's an impressive kid.
All these new offensive linemen.
Enormous nice human being.
He's enormously nice, enormous growth on that guy.
Yeah,
I mean he's just big. How do humans get that big
and that fast and that strong? He was so polite. Like, Nick, how many times have we come out of an interview and
I was about to say all of these, and it's been a lot of these transfer offensive linemen coming in here. These dudes are awesome. So hopefully they're as good of players as they are people.
Yeah, I hope as soon as the ball snaps, all the niceties go out the window and they become,
some of the best players. That's how they turn it on
nasty.
And off. You don't want to be nasty all the time.
No, just when you're playing.
Just when you're playing.
Yeah,
and then you're very polite afterwards.
Yeah. You know who's like that way?
Who's that?
Steve McKinney.
Hey there. Good to see you, sir.
On the field, he was just
he
was a malcontent on the field. Off the field, he's
very polite. He's a business owner.
He's content.
He's a great guy.
But a malcontent. Yeah.
We'll hit a break. We're going to bank on something next week. Or this week.
Yeah.
Not next week. We can bank on that too if you want. Milliken Reserve, bank on this. If Olin goes to Milliken Reserve right now and gets his 12,000 steps, he will feel much better.
Yeah. And I could be out there walking among the deer and the antelope as they play, and the songbirds
and the rabbits,
hopping
turtles.
around. Not the bad bunnies, just nice rabbits.
Yeah, the
turtles,
husky rabbits. The turtles are there. Yeah,
they're 60s, man.
You can go jump rope in there. You can climb trees.
I used to jump rope a lot. Maybe if I was out there, I would start doing that again.
Yeah, you know what? It's such an outdoor place. Just run. Fly kite. You look like a guy who likes to fly kite with your hair flowing in the air.
Maybe now that I have hair to flow.
Yeah, I think you should fly a kite.
I probably haven't flown a kite since I was, 9 or 10.
Yeah.
So, go out to Milliken Reserve and go back to your childhood.
And one more thing for you to do while you're there.
Okay.
You're going to get there early. You're going to spend all day. Right, picnic.
Yeah.
You're going to have, some cheese and some wine with Irma.
Yeah.
Then afterwards, evening yoga.
Oh, yeah. I'm all about yoga. Downward dog. I'm about the different poses.
I don't think that's a yoga pose. That's Hulk Hogan's pose.
No, there's actually some of those. Remember, I did yoga before. I could come out here.
This is not a yoga pose.
It is if you are doing other things,
Like on one foot? I am a real American. That's what Hulk Hogan would do.
I'm not going to get up here and do it.
No,
I'm not.
Come on, one more time. He's going to do it. Don't fall, please. Oh, gosh. Okay. We'll hit a break. MillikenReserve.com. Almost dropped coffee down my leg. It's time for Bank on It, presented by Vera Bank.
I want a pineapple smoothie.
Never had one.
Yeah, I want to get in the swing of things for this weekend.
Authentic relationship-based banking built for real life. Go see Joel Jackson and the team. Learn more at verabank.com. Obi.
Why are you laughing over there, Reese?
It was a good joke.
There was a joke?
What was the joke? No, I don't know. Moving on.
What are you banking on?
You know what? I'm going to bank on that Texas A&M lineup, that productive lineup, to produce. I'm banking on the guys that have played from Schlossnagle before to welcome their former coach back with home runs.
Okay.
Grahovec, Sorrell, anybody else, I'm banking on those guys to hit the ball hard and hit the ball far.
I'm banking on Jorian. Jorian being like Torian, just demoralizing the opposition. He's been doing that already. But again, his big bros that played for Schloss, he's going to carry that baggage with him from them.
Yeah.
And he's going to lead them this weekend.
Okay.
Jorian like Torian. Good dance
demoralizing them.
Jorian demoralizing Schloss.
They'll be worrying about Jorian.
While he's hurrying.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's go to the angry elephant. Do you think the baseball bunch is going to be off the rails like this?
They're too stuffed. Sure. Maybe Brauninger.
Depends which Brauninger you get.
Huh? Sometimes Brauninger likes to act like he's too serious.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at me, I'm such a baseball expert. I can't have fun with it. Hey, I'm talking to you, big man. But the other two are just, I think, a little bit too stuffed.
Clendenin's not here today. He said, I have family stuff to do. Scott Clendenin.
Oh, Clendenin. Huh.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. He will not drink iced tea.
Why not?
Because he doesn't want anyone to ever think he's a tea sip.
That's an Aggie.
He's actually said you'll never see him drink iced tea or hot tea for that matter.
Probably doesn't even listen to Ice-T, the rapper.
Probably not. I know I don't.
Yeah. See, you have Aggie in you.
But I've seen his TV show.
Which of the cop show?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it is. Does a good job.
What's it called? I don't even know. NYPD Blue? One of those shows?
No, I think he's got what?
CSI
New York or something like that. Special Victims Unit.
Well, you know what?
Finn.
The Longhorns are going to be a special victim this weekend, bro.
Yeah.
Take that.
Pow. Beat the hell out of Texas.
I hope.
TU. I got to catch up on the jargon.
TU. I hope. Anyway.
Yeah, we're hoping.
Thank you, OB.
Yep.
When we come back on TexAgs Live, two serious baseball guys with no fun at all. We're just going to talk baseball, X's and O's, and this strike zone this, and you don't want to say too much.
Yeah, that's Richard, Zane, and Bull Hurley.
Yeah, next on TexAgs. Hey, everybody. Welcome into TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. It is time for the baseball bunch. Richard Zane and Ryan Brauninger here in studio. Scott Clendenin's got some stuff going on, so we'll catch up with him next week. Gentlemen, welcome. How are you guys?
Good morning.
I'm good. So we were a bunch of clowns in the first hour, and we predicted this would be a very kind of like business-like
What, is there
atmosphere.
anything different? Like,
I'm
just
ready.
clowns this week or clowns every day?
More clownish than usual in the first hour.
Well, if you know Olin Buchanan, he's always clowning around.
Yes. Well, we had fun. I guess this first segment, maybe, I mean, we'll have a lot of stuff we can get into, but the emotions of this series for fans, for you guys, for what it means, big picture, what it means for this weekend, all that. Richard, you start us off.
Okay. I know it's not just another weekend, right? I know that everything's heightened and the stakes are always higher when Texas A&M and Texas meet in any sport, not just baseball. And obviously what happened 22 months ago only elevates that a lot more. But for me personally, it is business. Like, it is my job to go cover these 9 innings today, the 9 innings on Saturday, the 9 on Sunday, and to write the story and cover the games that are being played between these two teams who are really good. Texas is one of the top teams in the country. A&M has played a really good brand of baseball over the last couple of weeks, and they're now in the mix towards the top of the Southeastern Conference. That's an exciting topic. That's an exciting storyline to follow. That's what I'm focused on this weekend. I know what happened 2 years ago. I know my role in that. I don't want to think about that too much anymore because there's bigger things at play right now, given this team and this coaching staff, the ones that are here right now. Because think about what a series win for Texas A&M would do. It makes all of these hypotheticals about being in the hosting conversation for the NCAA tournament. 2 out of 3 wins this weekend makes all of that real and tangible, and there's a clear path to getting there. That is where my focus is on, but of course, I'm not going to fault anybody for being more emotional and focusing more on the outside stuff and the return of Jim Schlossnagle this weekend. I understand all of that. I'm not devaluing any of that because I think it's going to make for, and I said it yesterday, what could be the best regular season atmosphere in college baseball history.
Now, I heard that you said that, and I listened yesterday to the B team. I don't have context, like I haven't watched enough, but I do feel that that's probably correct, like without knowing other...
And Texas A&M's been in some 1 versus 2 weekend series since they've joined the SEC. They went into Alex Box Stadium and played a 1 versus 2 series, and that's a ruckus environment, we know that. But nothing has had quite the vitriol and hostility and the history of Texas versus Texas A&M, the rivalry, the one that's been around for over a century. And that's only been magnified given what's happened to these two programs in the last, 24 months.
Yeah, for me, people have asked me kind of what I feel about the series, and I don't have any emotion tied to it anymore in terms of what happened in 2024. Like, it was gross then when it happened. I thought it was gross, and I still think it's gross. Like, that whole thing was not handled correctly or anywhere close to correctly. It was actually handled about as worse as it could possibly be handled. That hasn't changed on my end, but the emotion tied to it has completely gone. I'm more interested in this series from the sheer baseball aspect of it. And to Richard's point, you have to factor in the emotion of what's walking into the ballpark. There's zero question that there are going to be a lot of Aggies walking into Bluebell Park this weekend that they have some stuff they want to get off their chest, and they haven't gotten a chance to. And even if they went to the series in Austin last year, which there were a lot of Aggies there, it wasn't enough to drown out, just the game on the field, the noise on the field. It's going to be hard for people in the Texas dugout not to hear this, and there's going to be a lot of Aggies walking in there today that they're looking for their pound of flesh because they've been stewing on this for 22 months. I'm not glossing over that. What I'm looking at is, can A&M, the baseball team, separate themselves from the fan base? Because you're going to have to. The game of baseball does not lend itself to revenge or over-emotion or, I personally would have questions about a player if they came in here and said, oh yeah, it's Texas, I'm gonna try to amp it up a little bit. What are you talking about? That's not baseball. This isn't football where you can be driven on emotion and motivated through revenge and like tenacity. Like the game doesn't, you have to play it that way, but the game doesn't lend itself to success. In fact, that's the type of people that the game of baseball preys on. If you are overly emotional in the game of baseball, like it will eat you alive. You have to stay even keeled. And so what A&M and what the job for Coach Early this weekend is separate. Like when we are in the dugout and playing on the field, it doesn't matter if there's 3 people in the stands or 10,000. We have got to go play the game of baseball. And so I think it's as important, like for Texas, the Texas dugout is going to have to drown out a lot of this stuff. And they may like it. They're public enemy number 1, led by the biggest bad guy ever, in the eyes of A&M fans. And then the other dugout, the A&M team can't feel that. They got to just go play. Texas is really good. If you are distracted or trying to overdo against a team like Texas, they will take advantage of that. And for all the commentary that we want to make about the former head coach here, one thing that we know is he's really good when the ball's rolled out and they say play ball. He's really good at that. And he's going to have his team ready to play. So you have to be ready to play and not play the moment, play the game. There's a huge difference there.
All right. Then I want to follow up with what Richard said, maybe the best college baseball home series environment, right? How personal do you think it's going to be tonight for these fans, this entire weekend?
Oh, it'll be 100% personal to a lot of people in there. And I don't know about any sort of communication that people in town have with the former staff, but I know there are a lot of people that I have just interacted with since that went down in June of 2024 that have been waiting to say something. They've just been sitting on it. And I was talking to Brandon Jones about it in the lobby yesterday. The 2 craziest, like single instances that I've covered here at TexAgs, Mark Stoops era and the exodus after the 2024 College World Series. Those were the wildest kind of short window periods. The 2022 recruiting class happened over a long period, and that was wild. Obviously, the transfer portal stuff every year is pretty remarkable in a short window, but those are 2 that really, really stand out in terms of like you get a good scope of how big the A&M fan base is, and you get a feel for just either through our website or through my own telephone, you got a feel for an emotion of a fan base, which is pretty unique. And you got it with the Mark Stoops thing, and you certainly got it after that College World Series. And, I think for Coach Early and for a lot of the players, like last year was the emotion. I'm just going to tell you, again, I've said this about Coach Early for a long time, and especially when they decided that they were going to retain him and he was going to get another shot after last year, he is incredibly self-aware. He has been so much better in every interview leading up to this season and during the season than he was a year ago. And he has been a lot better this week because I think he's just, like last year it felt like they were trying to run from it, and it was an over-the-top facade, and like they were playing a bit with the Columbia and Penn series. Remember all that? Like how over the top they went to talk about how important that series was in the locker room. With Columbia and Penn, it was the same week as A&M and Texas, and they had bought shirts and like taking tallies on who was going to pick, who was picking which side for that series. And it was like, come on, guys, like this is overdone now. And this year, you listen to what's been coming out of the locker room and clubhouse and Coach Early's press conferences, and every time he speaks about it, it's like we recognize what this is. Like it's going to be an exciting series. We know what's walking in here. We've got to be ready to play the game. And Jake Dewar, I think, had the best quote. Jake Dewar says, in baseball, you really don't play the opponent. You got to play the game. And what the name across the chest in the opposing dugout, the coaches in the opposing dugout, you get caught up in that and you will get beat. And especially with a team, take Texas off the jersey, put LSU on it, put Arkansas on it, put Georgia on it, put Florida on it. It doesn't change much. You better go play. And so that is the biggest thing is like, I think this A&M team, again, like there was, let's just say Jorian Wilson starts tonight. You are going to have Richard, how many guys on the entire team were coached by?
Only 7 players were here in 2020.
And how many of those will be in the lineup tonight? Sadeo, Grahovic,
Sorrell.
Yeah.
Benderup might.
Benderup might, yeah. And Gavin is mature enough to handle it. Sorrell played against him last year. Sadeo, if you remember he had a very interesting return and his announcement and all that stuff that went down with him. But we had Shane in here yesterday, and I thought, I don't know if we want to get into this right now, but Shane, if you go listen to that interview with Shane from yesterday, I highly encourage it. He's not running from anything. Like, I've known Shane a long time, since he was a freshman in high school, sophomore in high school, maybe that summer. Shane has really taken this personally, like him struggling, and he's not run from it. He's accountable for it. And because I even brought it up, I was like, man, sometimes you throw the ball over the middle of the plate and they swing and miss, or sometimes they hit it hard right at somebody and you're not getting any of that. He's like, yeah, but that's not an excuse. Like, I'm not going to look at that and say, wow, I've got some tough luck to go along with me not pitching great. That's not an excuse for me. Shane didn't run from anything. It was a very honest conversation. It was a very accountable conversation. And that is why it was a really good glimpse for, even if you're not a huge Aggie baseball fan and you're wondering why the coaching staff keeps giving Shane chances on Friday nights, listen to that interview, because it takes guts and backbone and courage to pitch on Friday nights in this league, and especially with the spotlight that's on this program right now, and especially when you're getting your brains beat in. It ain't easy. And it takes a real human being has to go do that. Because if you can look that in the face and keep your chin up and just keep going out and battling, there's something to be said for that. And I'm more convinced now, and I'm not saying it's going to happen tonight, Shane is going to play a massive role in the success of this team. He said that. He goes, I know what it would mean for this ball club if I can get my crap together. I was just so impressed by his accountability, because it's like, and I'm not saying Marcel wouldn't do that, but let's just say, we have Marcel scheduled for an NIL interview on a Monday or a Tuesday after he throws 3 interceptions and fumbles once and A&M loses. Not easy. He probably doesn't want to come in here and talk about that. I know Shane didn't want to come in here and address that. He'd rather just keep quiet and try to figure it out on his own. But he did. He faced the music, and he came in here and gave a really good account of himself, which I think that interview is going to go a long way for him in the draft process, because there's going to be clubs that look at that and go, all right, like, we know what kind of guy we're getting here.
Zane, I want to do one last emotional question, and then we can go straight to baseball. But we talk about the aftermath of Jim leaving, but it really started from the Texas perspective the day before the last game, right? Isn't that when the news started leaking out?
No.
Well,
no.
The Texas side knew well before that.
Yeah, the Texas side.
But it was on Twitter. No, I know we knew.
Well, they
Texas
officially
definitely
announced
knew.
the day of the national championship game that David Pierce was not returning. They knew before they were eliminated from the College Station Regional. And we knew before the end of the regular season, like 4 weeks before the end of the regular season.
But I'm just saying that timing of it on that particular day.
But it's the most Texas thing ever, right?
Yeah.
Like, from an Aggie perspective.
That was strategic.
Right?
Yeah, it was strategic.
And I guess that's my point.
Sure.
When we're talking about these emotions, that is a part of it to me.
And all of that and the timing of their announcement played into what happened post-game, because at that point there was no job opening to talk about. There were no real credence to the rumors, at least publicly, and that's when that became the right time to ask that question.
The funny part is that Texas really put him in a tight spot.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they would have held on to David Pierce for a couple of more days, Richard has no question to ask.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but the aftermath of all of it, I don't.
But I guess from me, and I think the fans' perspective is like, it's for us. That's, even though you all knew beforehand, it was the genesis of it happening on that day, that strategic pick for all things to unfold on the day of the last game.
Well, they knew exactly what they were doing, right? Leading into the national championship game, the third game of a best-of-3 series, winner take all. Texas A&M is 9 innings away from possibly winning their first national championship in a men's team sport, major men's team sport, since 1939. Of course, they had to have some of the headlines on an ESPN broadcast. That's the most Texas A&M Texas thing that we've been doing this back and forth with each other before we were conference rivals again for the last, 12 years after A&M made the move to the SEC. So that's just, that goes with the territory. You got to know who you're dealing with. A bunch of Aggies much older than me have a much better understanding of what we're dealing with over there.
Let's hit a break. I want to talk about the rotation change on the other side and a lot more inside baseball stuff. Right now, a moment for Caldwell Country Chevrolet, Highway 21 in Caldwell, online at caldwellcountrychevrolet.com. If you're in the market for a new vehicle, check out the good people at Caldwell Country Chevrolet. They're stocking up on their vehicles as we speak, always ready to deal on a new vehicle for you. They are locally owned. They have an Aggie alumni team that's ready to roll out the red carpet for you, and they know how to take care of their customers. That's why a lot of their customers, most of their customers, are repeat customers. They repeat it because they know what they can expect from Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Stop settling for big city prices or high-pressure tactics. Come see the difference a hometown dealership can make for you. It's about a 15-minute drive, the edge of Bryan, to the beginnings of Caldwell. A short conversation away, but you'll see the difference when you step on the lot and you do business with the great people at Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Highway 21 in Caldwell. Online, caldwellcountrychevrolet.com. And we're back. TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. The baseball bunch here. All right, guys, we got a...
Hey, Jace got his first professional hit yesterday. Did you see that?
I did not see that. Congratulations.
Got a double.
Brady
Congratulations,
Montgomery
Jace.
got reunited with his puppies, too. Did you see that?
I didn't see that either. I was not on social media.
Minor League Baseball posted a video. I guess his dad brought his 2 dogs to the game last night. So after the game, there's social content. Braden walked out, and the dogs are on the warning track.
It was pretty cool. Right before the season started, it was like just an innocuous Tuesday night practice at Bluebell, and I was out there watching. And
I was there with you.
I look up, and Braden Montgomery is sitting above the A&M dugout by himself. I'm like, what are you doing here?
That's pretty
cool. I just have a couple of days before I go to spring training, and I thought because his parents moved back to Mississippi.
Okay.
Because they were in Tomball. Now they're back in Mississippi. He goes, I was in Houston, and I decided I'd drive up and see the guys.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, let's chat about the rotation change. Aiden Sims going to the Saturday start, keeping Shane Sadeo Friday, and then TBA on Sunday. There's not a lot of different movable parts here, right? Like it is the staff is what the staff is, but now it's just a chess piece move.
Yeah, they're limited by what they can do because the personnel is what the personnel is, and that they're hindered by injuries, right? You'd love to have Caden McCoy, you'd love to have Josh Stewart. Even David Ramirez is a guy they talked about. They're getting healthier, right? We expect Luke Billings and Hunter Bond might even be back in action, and that should help them on the weekends and in the midweek as well. If those are guys that fill different spots, but for the most part, the arms that you've seen run out there regularly are the arms you're going to have to see.
Yeah.
The change, though, provides them more maneuverability in different spots, right? Because we've seen Weston Moss in different spots throughout his career be pretty solid. He's had good starts this year. He has.
Yep.
But he's also had really good relief appearances last year. So if you need him to pitch multiple times on a weekend and you want to fire that bullet today, go do it. Go win the ball game. Anything to win the game. I like that they are doing that from a coaching perspective. And as long as the guys are all bought in, and Bronny, your interviews with the guys were done before the news was announced yesterday.
They knew.
I'm sure they did. And as long as they're all bought in, then that's awesome. All hands on deck. Let's go win a couple ball games this weekend. I love that.
And I don't think you use Weston Moss tonight unless you are in a win the game or we are ahead and we've got to get some important outs here in the middle innings. I don't think, if Shane doesn't have a great one, I don't think you immediately go to Moss out of the bullpen to try to quiet the storm. Like you do have to look at Sunday as we've said it. You don't get 2 wins for winning on Friday and 1 for Sunday. They all count the same. You also don't get extra wins for beating Texas and half a win for beating LSU next week. All of this counts the same. So you've got to manage it in a way. I like it. I said this last week, David, that there was a little bit of freedom with all these struggles that A&M has had on the pitching staff because you get to play with rotation and pieces and moving guys around, and nobody's going to go, well, that was crazy. Everything's on the table.
Yep.
And so, to me, this is not a huge overhaul. It is taking your Saturday guy out, putting him in the bullpen, moving your Sunday guy up, and then, I guess, adjusting to the flow of the game. How they use Weston Moss is very interesting. I think, ideally, you get Shane into the 5th, 6th inning with a lead, and then you would probably go to Weston. Maybe. The lead would have to be probably something tight, like, we need to hold on here. I need 6 outs, 7 outs to get the ball to Fresh Corn with a lead. That's my goal. And if you do that, depending on pitch count, then you could bring him back on Sunday. He could either start that game on Sunday or come out of the pen again. What you don't want is to run Weston out there in the 3rd inning. He does a fine job, but you lose the game. So now I've burnt Sadeo and now I've burnt Moss and we lost the game.
Right.
There is, there's some dangerous scenarios with doing this. And so they've got to be delicate with it. I'm not worried about the 3 names. I feel like the series isn't going to be, it can be won by Moss, Sims, and Sadeo, but I don't think it can be lost by them. I think that the Aggie bullpen is going to have to get some really important outs, and somebody other than Clayton Freshcorn is going to have to do it.
What about Sims to Saturday? How do you all feel about that? Because we've talked about the Friday, Sunday, but with the Saturday, does that give you a chance? I mean, yes, it does give you a chance to win the series on Saturday potentially, but
What do you think about that part of the chess piece?
I think it's a good matchup for this week.
Okay.
Because Ross Stripling made a fantastic point in your interview with him, and I don't know how many people caught it, and he's right. Like, A&M's offense typically on Sundays has been torching people.
That's true. He did say it, yep.
And so are you wasting a really good start by Aiden Sims because it could be David Nuño pitching and A&M's going to win because their offense is going to bloody somebody to the tune of double-digit runs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's a really astute observation. This week is a little bit different because Texas has a real dude on Sunday.
Yeah.
Maybe their best guys on Sunday as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens going forward. If you think Sims is your best guy and you throw him on Saturday and you think you're going to win more often than not, that obviously gives you something on Sunday that you're either playing for a series win or a sweep. And that's pretty advantageous as well. But I thought this week was the right week to do it given the schedule from the Vanderbilt series and given how Texas lines up on the mound.
Yeah. No worries about rest because he pitched last Friday, so he's going on an additional day of rest this weekend. I agree with Bronny completely.
What about the Texas offense? I know statistically they're very good, but I think I heard both of you guys talk a little bit yesterday about that they're not Georgia Vandy, right? So,
I mean,
they're good. They're not elite. Like they are.
Those numbers are still impressive. 302 as a club, OPS just under 1,000. They're impressive as a team.
They're just. I would say that I'd put them in the next rung of elite offenses in the league. I have Georgia Vandy A&M at the top,
and then the next tier.
Texas would be in that next tier, like at the top of that next tier. Certainly good enough to hurt this A&M pitching staff.
Especially when you combine their offense with what might be the best pitching staff in the country.
Then, yeah.
They're the most balanced team A&M's played outside of UCLA.
Did I read, though, they've struggled on their Friday nights?
They've lost 3 of 4 Friday night or series opening games in conference.
But that hasn't all been due to Ruger Riojas.
No.
He got hit around a little bit last week. Ruger, again, it's a kid that I've been around for a while, and he was out of San Antonio. I think he's from Wimberley. Started his career at UTSA, and now he's at Texas, and has really he's pitched his way into a first-round conversation. It's a full arsenal. Like, it's 5 legit offerings, 5 legit pitches. So, like Coach Early said, if you have a guy that's got that big of a mix, you can't start guessing pitches because every time that you add a pitch to the mix and you start guessing, if it's a fastball, slider, changeup guy, I'm going to guess I got a 33% chance of being right. But as you add pitches, that percentage goes down.
Right.
So I think you have to hunt areas of the plate in advantageous counts. It's going to be really important what A&M does with 2 strikes, not getting on base, but can you move pitches and can they start identifying pitch shape early on in the game to where it's really hard to do in last year's team. I love a lot of those guys. They were the worst at it. They did not put any sort of pitch shape in their Rolodex, and they would continuously have the same swing at the same pitch because there was no recognition. The really good hitters, the hitters that were infinitely better than me, could see a pitch and they could log it. Even if it wasn't a good one, they would go, all right, I got a pretty good feel of what that's going to do out of hand. So I can adjust to it. I have a mental log of what that looks like. The really good ones don't get hit. But if you can track the shape and you can get it to an area of the plate, even if you need to be on time for heaters. That's what every hitter, especially nowadays with everybody throwing as hard as they do, the number one rule for you is to be on time with a fastball as long as you aren't getting a command from the dugout say we're sitting soft. We're sitting on something soft. If you don't have that command, you better be on time for a heater. The best hitters can time up a heater, and because they're so good with their pitch tracking and pitch recognition and identifying pitch shape, they can adjust from there. With Riojas, you got to be able to do that because the cutter's good, the slider's good, the fastball is going to be ride-run profile, which means it's going to look like it's taking off, and if the catcher doesn't catch it, it's going to end up on row 2 or 3. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's riding up. So from that profile, he can go cutter. If you speed up because you're trying to get to the heater, he'll go cutter to make you just off the end of the bat. Then he'll throw the harder slider, which has more horizontal shape. He's also got the true north-south breaking ball. So he's got, and he's got a changeup for left-handers. He's got something that moves in every direction. He's got an answer for whatever your plan is. So when you get one, over the middle of the plate, and this is a lot easier to say than it is to do, you can't miss it. So, like, on Tuesday night, Caden Sorrell swung and fouled off probably 4 pitches straight back that you're going, Caden Sorrell torches that ball. We know in his career at A&M, that's a ball that when he swings at it and he hits it, it goes over the fence. He fouled 4 of them straight back against Texas State. You don't get to pick and choose when you get to hit them.
Right.
But I'm going to be looking at that like, everybody said, man, they're right on it. Yeah, but you need to hit them. Like it's hard to do. I understand that. And you're fouling off pitches and you're like, man, he's right on it. He fouled it straight back. Yeah, but you need to hit them because you're not going to get that one again from Riojas tonight or this Texas staff.
All right, what a break. A lot more to go on the baseball bunch. When it comes to preserving your farm, your ranch's legacy, it's not about capturing pretty pictures. It's about telling that story for the next generation and the future generations that come after that. And with Heritage Films, you can get a documentary done about your family business, your family ranch that can be stored up for the future generations. You want to pass on the core values that your family is all about to the future generations. And Heritage Films can help you do that. That's what they've been doing for a few years now. They tell people stories, and it can be as simple as you started your little business. It can be as complicated as you want, but he is a wizard at telling stories. That is Chance McClain. Your legacy deserves this level of craftsmanship. Call him up or visit the website, yourheritagefilm.com. That is yourheritagefilm.com, or you can call them 713-893-8341, 713-893-8341. It's Heritage Films. All right, we're back here on the Baseball Bunch on TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. I don't know why I didn't remember this. This is the first time a 3-game series in College Station since 1992?
Yeah, I mean...
Because of the way the Big 12 did their scheduling
the
before.
Southwest Conference and the Big 12 were weird, and that was before my time.
Yep.
That was apparently normal, because you could go... You would do the same thing with Baylor, too. Play a couple games up in Waco and one down here.
I wish they'd do that. Well, I've talked about that. I wish they'd do a non-conference series every year with Baylor and do that. Play either the first 2 games in Waco and then one in College Station, or split it up where, every day they're driving back and forth. But I kind of like that.
Before they were conference rivals again, I always thought, what harm would a non-conference weekend between Texas and Texas A&M do? One here, one there, and then one at a neutral site, whether you can find a weekend in Houston or Arlington, or you play at Dell Diamond, or you go find these different ballparks you could play at. It would be interesting, but...
Weimar.
Yeah, you can't do
somewhere
that
in the middle.
Weimar.
Bastrop. Snook, there's cemeteries in Snook, no baseball fields. There's probably, you play at the home of the Blue Jays.
So based on what we've talked about from the rotation changing and how they're going to pair it up, just give it to me, like, how important is Friday? I know there's 3 games. So if you don't win Friday, you go in Saturday and Sunday. I understand that. But based on the approach that they're going with, how important is the Friday win?
I think Friday is always massive in this league. Right? You play to win the series, right? As you said, every game is its own. It's a 3-weekend showdown, or it's a 3-day showdown. But Friday sets the tone. Friday also sets you up for how you want to deploy different arms later on. So if you have to use a lot of resources on Friday night and you don't come out with the victory, you're shorthanded, on Saturday and Sunday. So massively important. It's massively important every single weekend. I don't think it's any bigger because it's Texas. Starting pitching on Friday night, Shane Sadeo, Ruger Riojas they are going to set the tone for how the rest of the weekend is played and how different guys are deployed and come into ball games.
The good news, if you're a Longhorn, is they're deeper in the bullpen, and they've got more options down there. They got a couple of freshmen that have been really good for them. Cozart's one of them. They got Thomas Burns on the back end. He's a big burly right-hander, 96 to 100. Been in their high leverage spots all year. Had closed a game, really tight game at Auburn, where he almost gave it up, but kind of found his footing in that inning, and then has taken that confidence through the remainder of this conference play. But for A&M, I look at it like 7-5 in the league. I understand the emotion tied to this series. It's probably more important to the fan base that Aggies win the series than it is to the overall outlook for A&M season. You go 1-2 this weekend, it stings. And for whatever reason, it feels like it would be there's been some people that have been on Coach Early's case that would only make them bark louder if they went 1-2. But you'd get out of the weekend looking at 8-7 in the league at the halfway point. If you go 8-7 in the back half of the SEC slate, you might host a regional. You're going to be on the bubble to host a regional. And if you go one game better than that, you're definitely hosting and probably moving toward a national seed line. So 17-13 in the league this year is going to put you probably anywhere from 7 to 12 in the country in terms of the seeding. So A&M has a real opportunity this weekend, I think, to make a national statement and for what it matters, get some people back on Coach Early's side that have been really upset about last year. None of that matters in terms of the outlook of their season. You get one this weekend, you're 8-7. You get 2, you're 9-6 at the halfway point.
Yeah,
and then everything is going all right. The A&M is. I think this is not. I'm not faulting Kendall or the guys at D1. I still think A&M. They look at A&M. They go. They got pitching issues. Also, they're still holding on to what happened last year because A&M's resume right now is better than some of the schools ranked ahead of them. The rankings don't matter. But I think if you go out and win the series against Texas, a lot of the trepidation that people were still holding on to from last year goes away. And I think you'd see A&M get a big bump into the top, 12 or 13 teams.
So you win the series this weekend. You're 9-6, just to finish Bronny's point. You'll have played 3 top 10 teams in conference, 2 of which were on the road. How many top 10 teams are remaining in the back half of the schedule? Mississippi State, which just got swept at home by Georgia, a team you beat.
Yeah, and you say that, but it's the SEC, right?
Yeah, of course.
You're getting ready to play.
The past is never indicated
Look at this.
the future either.
Vanderbilt, national championship program. This is what this league is. Texas, national championship program. LSU, reigning national champions. Florida, national championship program. And then I think, is it Auburn after that?
Auburn.
And then Ole Miss, recent national champion. Mississippi State, recent national champion. Like, the Texas series is important in this state because of the rivalry. It is not more important than any of these other games that you are going to play for the remainder of this conference slate.
All right, so here's a non-baseball question that there's an impossible to really give it the answer that we need, but how important is this series just for Texas A&M? And I'm not talking baseball. I'm talking about the way the last couple of years have gone against that school.
I have a different opinion on this than most people. I think we lend too much credence to the results against Texas, and it changes a lot of the way people view things and react to things because they want to win so badly. And I don't know if it's because of, we live in College Station, so there are a lot of people that live in Houston and Dallas and Austin that they got to deal with the repercussions a lot more than some folks that live here locally. We deal with it because it's on our website, and when A&M loses to Texas in any sport, it's a rough day on the message boards. But I'm of the opinion that, you want to beat them. It'd be nice to beat them, but it'd be nice to beat them because they're just like LSU, Alabama, Auburn. It's nice to win the SEC. That's how I look at it.
I don't, but I appreciate that. I think that's a good way to look at it. I don't. I feel like they are the enemy, and you're compared to them.
My preface was I understand. I view this differently than a lot of people.
Yeah,
I'm kind of in the middle of both of you, right? Like, I grew up. Both my parents are Aggies. We had Longhorns in our family too. Like I'm part of those families, and there are countless of them in this state where it's split down the middle. But I understand for the grand scheme of things, and this team that I'm covering, Brauninger is 1,000% correct. These games are no bigger than the 3 next weekend in Baton Rouge. They all count the same, all 30 of them.
Like on the football side, don't you think you lost to Texas at home and you lost on the road, and it curtailed your season and it derailed potential SEC title games. That heightened the sting of it. But it would have done the same thing to you if it was Mississippi State to your season. You understand what I'm saying?
Disagree.
No. If you lose to Mississippi State in 2024 in football, in the last game of the regular season, you don't go to the SEC title game. You understand what I'm saying?
It stings even more, though. It stings even more.
Because it's your rival. That's why we have a rivalry.
If I
you didn't
take
lose
the
4
hat
games,
off,
you lost 1 game.
Yes, I understand that. If I take the journalism hat off and I get to be Richard Zane the fan, which I don't allow myself very often, losing to them in anything stings more.
Yeah.
Even though I understand, and I'm not trying to devalue your point. Every game counts the same. It still stings more because you have to hear about it.
Losing to your rival, losing to your big brother, losing to anybody that is close to you in some kind of conversational way, family way, your arch enemy hurts more. To me, it hurts more. Conor McGregor losing to Khabib hurt more than losing to Nate Diaz.
Is it losing hurts more, or is
reference.
Is it watching your rival have any sort of success hurts more?
Yeah.
Right? Because if you're an Ohio State fan, even though you didn't have a chance to win the national championship game on Monday, doesn't that sting really badly to watch the Michigan Wolverines cut down nets?
So
I would prefer Texas not to win in anything.
Yeah,
I'm not going to sit there and say
there's a reason I rooted for USC and not Texas to win the national championship in 2005 in football, because I didn't want them
I understand
to have
that much more, but I understand that line of thinking. It's I grew up in a very anti-Dallas Cowboys household.
Mm-hmm.
And so, my dad's favorite NFL team was whoever Dallas was playing.
Yep.
And I don't have that same kind of. I would prefer that the Cowboys don't win ever, but it's because I'm a Houston guy.
Yeah.
We've got basketball and NHL playoffs coming up. My team's probably not going to make it, so I'm going to be rooting for the team that has the least number of fans that I know. That way, I never have to hear about it again.
All right, we'll hit a break. We'll come back with some final thoughts with the baseball bunch. Then we'll find out what's happening on TexAgs today, and then Billy Liucci at some point after that. Right now, we're talking Paragon Financial Advisors. If you're looking for a real peace of mind when it comes to your money, check out Aggie on Paragon Financial Advisors. They're an independent fiduciary serving clients all across Texas. No sales pitches, no commissions, just honest financial planning and investment management. And what really sets them apart is the 9 CFPs, the CFA, and the CPA all on staff. They take their credentials seriously, and they work tirelessly to help you build your future that you can feel really good about. Do me a favor and go to paragon-adv.com or give them a call directly, 979-693-3907 for your free consultation today. It is Paragon Financial Advisors, integrity, expertise, and trust. Paragon Financial Advisors. Everyone, David Nuño here for Allen Honda. Had a great conversation with them earlier today. John Allen's the owner. He's been here forever, and also their GM, Rusty Skinner, great guy. Wonderful conversation. They're super local. They're a family-owned dealership, not some massive auto group, and they treat their customers like family because they basically are family. They're Aggie alums. They love Aggie sports, and they've been serving the Brazos Valley with integrity, with passion, and commitment to excellence for over 50 years, which is very rare, by the way, for the independents because people trust them. And that's why they've been doing it for such a long time. Whether you're looking to buy, lease, or service your vehicle, you can count on them for transparent, no pressure experience that puts your needs first. And I can attest to it. Had a great conversation about my own situation with them. Their knowledgeable sales team will help you find the perfect Honda to fit your lifestyle, from fuel-efficient sedans to versatile SUVs. Leasing options are flexible and affordable, making it easy to drive the latest models with confidence. And when it comes to service, their certified technicians only use genuine Honda parts to keep your vehicle running at its best, whether it's routine maintenance for major repairs or whatever it may be. And we know that trust isn't given, it is earned, and that's why generations of local drivers right here in the Brazos Valley and Bryan College Station keep coming back to Allen Honda. As part of the community with Aggie spirit in their hearts, they are here to make everyone's visit wonderful. So visit their showroom or their service lane and find friendly, efficient, and memorable situations when you go to Allen Honda. Come see why so many College Station and Bryan drivers choose Allen Honda for their automotive needs, and remember, gig 'em. Estamos aquí. TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio.
Here? Okay.
We're here.
Okay.
I saw that the look you gave him, like, oh, here goes Nuño.
No, I had to know what does that mean. Estamos aquí.
Estamos aquí.
Okay.
I didn't have to use it.
Why'd you say it like Derm Doc?
I don't know if I've talked to Derm Doc in person. Yeah, I talked to him once in person. Yeah. Hey, Derm. Good to see you. Let's go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Reese Nygren, the people are texting. There's been a wide array of texts coming through.
Yeah, Tim in Houston said, Bronny doesn't get it because he didn't do his undergraduate degree here, and you just can't explain it to people.
I think that's a really bad excuse. So let me give you a history here. My dad and uncle were both Aggies. I went to 4 bonfires before I was 8 years old. I was in row 2 of the Cotton Bowl when Quentin Coriat sacked Casey Weldon for the only 2 points in that frigid, cold day in Dallas. I thought I was going to Texas A&M. I had a walk-on spot on the roster with Mark Johnson out of high school. I was going to be a walk-on the baseball team. He gets let go. Rob Childress doesn't. understandably. Rob Childress doesn't honor the previous walk-on promises. My baseball career takes me elsewhere. I get it, man. I get it. I was at the bonfire game. I was at the Maroon Out against Nebraska. I sat in the core for that game. Like, I get it. I 100% get it. And back then, I would say that I felt more like David does now. But as my role in TexAgs has increased and my coverage and responsibilities has increased, I've come off of it and just said, like, I view it more through the lens of, I think, how Michael Early or Jamie Morrison or Mike Elko view it. It's like, I understand the heightened importance of the game, but they don't count anymore if you beat Texas or if you beat LSU or if you beat Florida. Matter of fact, for me, having lived 3.5 years in Louisiana, I enjoy it more when A&M beats LSU. That Saturday night in Baton Rouge last fall was chef's kiss for me.
Well, maybe that's because of your personal connections, right?
Yeah.
And the people that...
Again, I'm not saying that you guys are wrong.
Yeah.
I'm offering you...
How you look at it.
The view through my lens, but don't tell me, like, I don't get it because I didn't get my undergrad here.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of people. I went to school. I got my undergrad during a time where we didn't play Texas at football.
Yeah.
We played them in baseball 3 times when I was in school. That's it. So my generation never really got to feel the rivalry. But both my parents are Aggies. I remember on Thanksgiving night in 2011 watching that game in Flower Mound on the couch and being, having my heart ripped out of my chest. There's a good chance that my 15-year-old self at that point goes somewhere else for school. But at that point, I would have gotten it. There are thousands, maybe millions of people in this state who might not have gone to college at all, but they get it. They understand this rivalry because it is ingrained in who we are as Texans.
Let me throw just a Nuño angle on it. I agree with everything both of you have said. In fact, you fan how you fan. I hope that next week matters more than this week, because if you win this series, then next week matters more.
Could you imagine if you are going, if you're able to win this weekend and you win next weekend and you turn back and you look at what A&M has done to that point in conference play and you got series wins over Vanderbilt, Texas, and LSU, that's a pretty good Texas A&M baseball season.
Yeah. I think for right now, this is all I care about, and then I'm going to care for more next week.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. Hey, we have 40 seconds. Keys to this weekend. Just each of you give me 2, 3.
Yeah, I mean, can you keep the big crooked number away? Because I don't think A&M can score. Asking A&M to score 9.5, 10 runs a game against this Texas staff's a lot. So can you win with 6 or 7?
I'll go with just player. Gavin Grohovac.
Player. Offense. Play on, player. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate you. All right, we'll hit a break. We'll come back, Billy Liucci, for the next hour. Get to your text messages, hopefully nice ones, at 979-693-1150. It's TexAgs Live. The SEC, it just means more. And this series does too. It's TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. I kind of want to give my perspective of Bronny's thoughts at the end of that segment, because I want everybody watching, listening, it's not even my choice, it's your God-given right. You fan however you want to fan, right?
Yeah.
You're like, it does not, like, how you internalize things and how you are affected by things does not affect the way I do things, right? So for me, married to a Longhorn, brother-in-law who's a Longhorn, let's see, dear friends that are Longhorns, right? Yeah. And growing up during the rivalry, being an Aggie, going to Bonfire at the age of 7 and 8, like yes, for me, this means more. What I read on social media, it means more. And I don't care who it is. If a team beats me, they're my enemy, right? Like, if they beat me consistently and that program, congratulations, I don't like you guys, but you beat us in football 2 years in a row. You took 2 of 3 in basketball last year. We split the series this year, and you swept A&M baseball. Look, there's been a lot of victories for the other sports, right? But if we're talking about the big 3, the last couple of years has been very good for them moving into the SEC, getting to the SEC championship game before we ever did. For whatever you want to say about the schedule, they did, we did not. Okay? So there's that. So I'm a big believer. You just fan however the heck you want to fan. I don't care. Now, to me, it does mean more.
Yeah.
But I am honest when I say I hope it means significantly more the upcoming series, right? Because once you move on from that, right, then once you get past that, look, next week might matter more because you don't have a good weekend.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about when it comes to emotion, when it comes to where we hope this program is going. For right now, all my attention is to beating that you know what.
Yeah, BTA. TBA is going to put BTA on Sunday.
I like that. Well
TBA stands for the Bickham arm, by the way. Cade Bickham's going to be throwing on Sunday.
I've noticed that you guys continue talking about him. You know, he's still got eligibility, right?
He's on camp. He's for what, another two months?
Has he ever actually tried to walk on? Do we know?
I have no idea. That's a good question.
Bickham, as long as you're still here in the mornings.
Oh, he did not.
He never tried. Okay, well, he's fired.
He should try now.
Can you tell us what's happening on TexAgs today?
Yeah, we have a lot going on TexAgs today. And as a reminder, there is never a bad time to become a TexAgs premium subscriber. We have a handful of NIL interviews, including baseball with Shane Sadeo, Weston Moss, and Boston Kellner. Bronny alluded to that in the last segment. Sadeo talks about his roller coaster start to SEC play. Weston Moss discusses how he plans to improve his future outings. We'll see how he's used this weekend. And Boston Kellner shares his excitement to play in his first Lone Star Showdown. We had your NIL interview with safety Jordan Shaw, spoke about his approach to the season as a new father. We have recruiting nuggets from Jason Howell, his Around Texas Roundup, his talk with 2028 recruit Israel Samuel, how he feels about Aggieland, OB snippets from spring practice number 10, the early read on Alabama transfer Isaiah Horton and what he saw from Marcel Reed. And then we had press conferences both after spring practice and regarding the upcoming international soccer match between Argentina and Honduras. Later today and this weekend, baseball coverage from Bronny and Richard, including Setting the Scene, which they are filming later today. Softball coverage as they continue SEC play in Oxford with the series against the Ole Miss Rebels, and an NIL interview with Colorado defensive line transfer Brandon Davis-Swain.
Awesome stuff there. Appreciate that. So this was on the YouTube chat, caught my attention. I'll just ask everybody to give their opinion. Who is the key, if there's a person or a theme, let's say, to the series? What is the key to beating Texas this weekend?
Starting pitching. I think you have to get length from people, and you have to get good length. You don't want to see 6 innings with 8 runs. That's not going to do it. So I would say starting pitching from Sadeo and Sims, and then whoever happens to be the starter on Sunday, whether it's an opener kind of situation. But my answer is starting pitching.
I think most people will share with that. Nick Savage?
Yeah, I'm going to go Weston Moss. I'll go player. Okay. What's Weston Moss going to give you now that he's going back to a bullpen role? We know he can do it. We know he's very effective out of the bullpen. So it'll be interesting to see if it comes to him naturally, like, hey, this is more comfortable for me. I've done this before at a high level. And if he can come out of the pen and give you multiple innings. I feel like we're in a good spot, this weekend compared to weekends past because Gavin Lyons has gone multiple innings in the past, and he's been effective. Can Weston Moss be that as well? We all know Clayton Freshcorn is good on the back end to close out games. So I'm going to go individual player there. I'll go Weston Moss. What's he going to be out of the pen?
I'm going to take a theme and an idea, and I'm going to kind of merge you both.
All right.
All right. So, yes, Weston Moss and Shane Sadeo, but I'm going to call it Friday.
Yeah.
To me, the key to the series is Friday. It does not mean, like I told Bronny, that if you lose Friday, you can't win the series because Aiden Sims comes in and does a bang-up job, right? And then Sunday, you piecemeal it, your offense goes crazy. Yes, I understand that in baseball, anything is possible. But I'm going Friday for multiple reasons. First off, maybe you get both Weston and Shane on Friday, right?
Yeah.
And you get that Friday win. Maybe you save some of your bullpen by using those guys. Maybe Weston Moss doesn't have to go that much, so they bring him back to give you 2 or 3 innings to start on Sunday. To me, the theme is Friday and getting a victory on Friday, right? And that would mean how many runs here? Texas is, starting pitching is fantastic with Riojas. You can get, 6 runs, let's say, right? But somehow keep Texas to 4 or 5 runs. Use both Shane and Weston Moss. Finish it out with Clayton Freshcorn. And this is an ideal scenario, which I know that doesn't always play out the way I want. But if you win Friday with that kind of scenario, I think Aiden Sims gives you a chance to win the series on Saturday.
Yeah,
right?
it's a good spot to be in. You win what's probably going to be the most hostile of the 3 games because it's the first one.
Yep.
And then you get to send out who's been your best starter all year long for a chance to win the series against your most hated rival, who also happens to be the number 2 team in the country. So I agree with your point that tonight is a huge deal.
Look, and I'm going to go back to what I said a moment ago. You can lose today. You can get blown out today.
Yeah.
They got perfect or no hit against Tennessee and came back and won the next. Like I recognize that. Like that is baseball, but it feels like let's put all our chips on Friday, right? Pitching chips.
Yeah.
It feels like, I don't know. They may not use Weston Moss. They may not have to.
Yeah.
All right. They may be in a situation where they don't have to. But you go all in on Friday. You feel really good about Aiden Sims on Saturday. And then we'll figure out Sunday as we figure out Sunday, right? But it feels like Friday is the first domino that you need to fall in the right direction. It can't fall in the wrong direction. Does not mean that the other days can't be wins as well. But I do think if you get Friday, you're winning the series. And I think you're winning the series on Saturday.
On Saturday, with a chance to sweep on Sunday.
Now,
sign me up.
That is maroon goggles, and for our Longhorn fans listening, fat chance, bro. We got a great pitching staff.
Yeah,
great. But
cool story, bro.
I'm trying to go through scenarios. What you can lose 12-2 and still come back and win the series. Don't, please, right?
Yeah, let's not.
Let's not, and not even say that we did. But to me, and look, I want these youngsters that have nothing to do with the rivalry in the past for that to be personal to them too.
Yeah.
But as Coach Early said yesterday, as Bronny has said several times, play with emotion. Wait, how did he phrase it? Play with emotion, be emotional. I got to look at it, write it down. You know what I'm saying.
Play with emotion, but don't be emotional.
There we go. That's the line, right? Because baseball, you can't try harder to hit the baseball, right? And I think that is a very delicate balance.
Mm-hmm.
That might work in every sport, honestly, but like I feel like football, you kind of hit a little harder, right? Now, it's not always, as you know, that I practice the arts, right?
Yeah.
And they always tell you, like, if you're all tense and you're going to burn yourself out. You can't try harder to put somebody in a position.
Yeah.
Baseball's that way. But I do think certain sports, you can. Like, that rebound, no one's going to stop you from that rebound. You get angry as you go for that rebound in basketball. That tackle, when you get after the quarterback, you leave a mark.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way with baseball because you don't swing harder to get further home runs.
Yeah.
It's about the mechanics, the timing, the technique. So can you play, say it again?
Can you play emotionless, with emotion, but not emotional?
There we go. If you can do that, I think it sets you up for a very successful weekend. Shane Sadeo, who is emotional on the mound sometimes, cannot get over emotional. There are certain positions that in life, not even just in baseball, that if you allow the moment to be bigger than it is, you will shrink, right? If you're a DB, you have to have a short memory when you get burned.
Yeah.
If you are a pitcher, you have to have a short memory.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to trust them. I think Trisha Ford on the show has said it many times when talking about Sidney Lessentine. Like, look, I know you can do it. You've done it several times. Good pitchers are going to get hit.
Yeah.
Get over it. Move on. Just continue to follow the process. If you follow the process, are you laughing about that line?
No, I'm laughing at a comment that Cooper made
on the chat.
Yeah.
What did Cooper likes to make?
All he said was
story.
hashtag shrink, which is like a very Twitter burnerverse thing of Cooper Patterson to say.
Hashtag shrink?
Yeah.
What does that mean? And look, Nick's laughing. Like, Nick, is this something you know too?
I mean,
what people don't know?
I know what it's referencing. Yeah, it's funny. It's just because you said that. And
is shrink a show?
No. Just means like less of it.
Yeah.
I want less of this thing.
Like Jason Kelsey at the Masters, hashtag shrink.
That one's just sit for a minute. Okay.
Let it marinate.
Let it marinate. How do we get back on track? Can you read something that makes sense, please?
I mean, Gene in New Braunfels has been...
Gene!
He's asking about the effect the umpires have on the game
I don't know. I know that I was sitting with a particular basketball analyst once at a very important basketball game this year. And I got to say if he worked for TexAgs or not, all right? He does have a mustache. And he's oh, my God. This is the NCAA tournament, okay? I wonder who I was sitting by. And his name is not Olin Buchanan.
He's not a preacher.
He's oh, my God. I'm going to just call him Jack McFarlane. Made a fake name. I think that's like a comic book writer. I don't know. Jack McFarlane.
Johnny Two Times.
Huh?
Johnny Two Times.
That's from Goodfellas. Jack McFarlane is reffing this game. A&M is 0-12 when Jack McFarlane is the referee of an A&M basketball game if Bucky McMillan's the head coach. And you know what happened that game?
They won.
They won. So I don't know about the umpires, and I don't like.
No.
You know what I hope we get? Because again, this is like out of my skill set. Like I don't know. Like I can't tell you umpire. I remember Steve Javie in the NBA.
Yeah.
I don't remember I don't like officials. If I know your name, that's not a good thing.
No, it's not. Like in college baseball, Jeff Head. Like if you have Jeff Head as the official, if you have Jeff Head as the umpire, it's not going to be a good day for you. And that's a real person.
Wait, Angel
Hernandez.
Angel Hernandez. Okay, I know that name.
CB Buckner. He's had a really rough start to this new ABS challenge. He had 3 straight calls overturned.
Okay.
I was wrong.
Tim Donaghy, we know that name.
Oh, yeah, we know that guy.
We do know that guy. All right, I think we're going to hit a break here.
We also might get Billy Liucci.
He didn't answer the phone, so we'll see. He's probably in the parking lot about to show up. So we'll hit a break. We'll come back. We'll get to some more of your texts. I did want to talk some football with Billy, but we got to do a lot of baseball with Billy here over the hour. So we'll do that on the other side. If you want to be a part of the conversation, there are multiple ways you can do that. You can call us up at 979-693-1150. That is our hotline, the Buppy's Catering and Bartending hotline. Text that number as well, 979-693-1150. That is the Catalyst Pure Performance Energy text line. All right, right now we're talking about Guarantee Bank and Trust. They've been around for a long time, over 100 years. 1913 is when they got started in the great state of Texas. They're one of the most respected community banks that there is. There are banks, and then there's community banks. And if you do business with a community bank, I think you're going to be a little bit happier because they're part of the community, right? That's why you see their entire team from Brandon to Jared to Sarah to Tony all around town. They certainly help out. And wherever you're listening, if you're in Texas, they're going to be all over the place, 33 locations across Texas, but 3 locations in the Bryan College Station area. And they will take care of you in all of your needs. Make sure you say hi to Brandon Sears, their market president. He's an A&M alum, awesome guy. He's down on Texas Avenue at that location. But they're all over the place, and they want to grow stronger for the community. You want to check them out. Exceptional relationship-based focused banking. You'll love it. So if you're buying a home, running a business, or beginning your financial journey, they will help you every step of the way. Remember, 33 great locations across Texas. But check out the website, gnty.com. That is gnty.com. Guarantee Bank and Trust, a division of Glacier Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. All right, we're back here on TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. So we talked about the key to the series, right? And I said my key is Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that doesn't bite me in the butt because I'm going to still hope for a victory on Saturday regardless and Sunday, right? But is it the Texas A&M offense versus the Texas pitching? Or is it the reverse of that, the inverse?
That's a good question. I would have to lean A&M pitching against Texas's offense, just because the pitching staff has been a roller coaster, and it's more for like down the line, like you're getting to the back half of the SEC schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Like if your starters go out there and have a good weekend this weekend, all of a sudden that gives you optimism that next week when you go to LSU and when you go to Florida and when you play Auburn and all these big time programs, that you can go out there on Friday and be like, hey, like I've seen 2026 Shane Sadeo do this.
Right.
I've seen 2026 Aiden Sims, which he's already done it, do that. I've seen Weston Moss do that. So I'm going to lean A&M pitching against the Texas offense.
Which, and to your point, A&M leads the SEC with 118 runs in conference play, third nationally in slugging, fourth in home runs, fourth on base percentage. Texas has the second best ERA in the country, best WHIP, and 3 weekend starters with sub-3 ERAs. But maybe to win the series, it is the inverse of that.
Yeah.
Because if you can capitalize on Texas's offense that hasn't been as elite recently, and as Bronny talked about in the baseball bunch, that next tier, right? If you can do that, and A&M's pitching, which hasn't been elite, right? Can come a little bit closer to the middle, right? Overall, then I do think that we have, then that the inverse could be the formula to win.
Yeah.
I asked the question, Billy, is what?
I asked the question, why?
But I ask you why, Billy Liucci. Texas A&M's offense, what's the matchup? Is it A&M's offense versus Texas pitching, or is it A&M's pitching versus that Texas offense? The key to the series.
I think when you see them drop a couple games to Texas State and Vandy, and I know Texas State's different, like with how you attack your pitching in that midweek. Not to say they weren't trying to win, they were. It would have been a nice win. It would have been a significant win in terms of the RPI on the road. But you lost 2 games in the last week, and they're playing, A&M's playing really good baseball, but you lost 2 games in the last week where you scored 8 runs. So to me, it's the A&M pitching versus the Texas offense. And I know the Longhorn offense they're not like putting up the massive numbers that A&M or even other teams in the SEC are.
They're not far off.
But it's not like they've been an anemic offense.
Mm-hmm.
Like I watched them, so it was a low scoring game against OU. One of the games I watched them beat OU 14-0 on a Friday night. They can do it, and I just think the Aggie pitching has to be. I don't think there's any world that A&M wins this series in which they just outslug Texas for 3 games. I mean, I know. First of all, it's going to be, like you said, it's going to be hard to slug against this pitching staff. Ruger, Volantis, they got a good guy set like the whole weekend. But I do think the A&M offense will produce runs. So to me, it's the pitching. Like somebody, they're going to have to get, in my opinion, to win the series, they're going to have to get 2 quality starts. One is not going to get it done. If you get one, you might get swept or you might win one. Like that game will be a toss-up. They got to get 2 quality starts minimum, to win the series. I don't think you're going to go. We got 1 good start from Aiden Sims, but the other 2 games we won slugfest.
Right.
I just don't. I think at best you can win 1 game in this series where you just kind of trade runs with them. I mean, who are you lighting up on that pitching staff? I think A&M lineup is their batting order is as good as Texas's pitching staff, But to me, pitching, I would take every time. So when I'm looking at this series, I'm going, okay, maybe you can slug one game out. And by slug against that staff, 8-7 type of game, that might be your. So you're just going to have to get a different, in my opinion, level of starting pitching and relief, and at least one other game. Like two of the 3 games, you better walk away going, we pitched really well. So maybe that means you split those 2 and you win a more offensive game on. But again, offensive game on Sunday against Volantis, like you better have a great pitching performance Sunday. So I think they have it in them, and I do think. I actually read what Slosh said I saw a quote on Twitter today about Sadeo.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I agree with that. Like, I think this might be what Sadeo needs is, again, I've heard everybody talk, like the strikeouts and it's impressive, but then he gives up the 2-strike home runs, and it's almost like he's such a competitor, and you see him there, and we've watched him in his career. He's so competitive. He does not like Texas. To put it in as sweetly as possible, I will say he told them to, go shove it when they tried to get him to leave A&M when he was a youngster, to go to Texas the day after they lost in Omaha. And I think he was kind of one of the loudest voices to say, not no, but hell no. And Slosh, almost like he didn't allude to that, but he knows how much Shane does not like the Longhorns, and which is great. Like, and I think he understands that, but it's like maybe that's what it's going to take for him to say, "I'm winning this game today," and be locked in on a whole nother level. And who knows? Maybe it turns his season in a whole nother direction.
For you personally, your emotions for this series, does it mean more? Does it not? Like we talked about it with Bronny and Zane. To me, it means more.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple reasons for me. Number one, it's Texas. I want to see A&M beat them and beat them up every time they play. I also can't stand the fact that, since they've joined the SEC, you're 0-2 in football. You're 2-3 in basketball, and you're 0-3 in baseball. And that, to me, like, I love Bucky's team going down there, and I know they split with them, but I love the fact they went into Austin.
Beat them there.
And in the second half, it's almost like they just out-wanted them. They out-physicaled them. That's how you need to beat Texas. That's what Texas did to A&M. Not out-want in football, but they out-physicaled them. And I'd focus more football on this past season. And the Longhorn fans don't understand that for some reason. They don't get when Texas came to Kyle Field, they were light years better than A&M. That was a 3-loss A&M team that ended up losing 5 games that year. They're in year 1 of a head coach. Texas was in year 4 and coming off a playoff and going to a playoff. That wasn't an even matchup. Go back to Sark's first year. Go back to any coach's first year. And you're going up against an established top 10 program. Last year was level playing field, and Texas put it to them in the second half. That one sits with me worse. But to beat them, I think A&M needs it, in the big 3. If you lose football, you split with them in basketball.
Beat them in baseball.
Finish ahead of them in the standings in both those sports. And then if you beat them head-to-head in baseball, and that counts 1-1, it's a big deal. I would love to see this for Mike Early, to put a lot of that stuff behind. Like, this is the weekend where if you can win, you can put a lot of that stuff behind in the mind of your fan base, maybe even him and the program. I think there's a lot to be gained by beating them from the emotional standpoint of the fan base and even within the program, although, like, I'm sure very few people will openly admit that. I do think it's necessary. And then you think, Nuño, this is the other thing about playing Texas and anything. You think about the flip side. What does a 2-game loss, what does a sweep. We're like, what do those look like and feel like for this team, for this fan base? Right. I don't want to think about that. The crap we have to put up with, the crap I'll have to put up with on Sunday, the crap we have to see on social media, like all of those things. So, yeah, it means quite a bit. And then there's this season, which no one will place it first, but it is first, is win 2 out of 3 against Texas and be sitting at 9-6 through 15 games. Reese, what was A&M's record through 15 last year? If you're sitting at 9-6 through 15, you've lost 2 non-conference games to teams that aren't hurting your RPI at all, in UCLA and Texas State. If you win this series, you will have won 3 SEC series in a row, going to Baton Rouge for another big one. Mentally, you'll be in a great spot, and you'll be well on your way. I think you'll start. I think after, if you win this series, you'll be in all the mock regional host situations. If you win this series 2-1.
Sorry, go ahead.
And then then it gives me belief that, like, I don't think they're playing anybody better than Texas the rest of the way. I think Mississippi State's up there with them. I don't even think Auburn is, even though Auburn was ranked so high early. I think they're more closer to A&M.
Yep, agree.
I don't think you're playing a team better than Texas in a series the rest of the way in the SEC. And the next 2 closest, you're getting at home in Mississippi State and Auburn. So to me, like, man, if they can win this one with all the mental stuff that goes on with it, it is a season turner. And I think if they do, I think you'll see them hosting a regional. Go ahead.
Through 15 conference games, they were 6-9 last year.
6-9, you can get to 9-6. Yeah. So, and to get to 6-9, they started 1-9.
Yeah.
And then they won what?
They got
Tennessee.
Yeah, they got no hit on Friday, and then they won the last 2 in Tennessee, and then they swept South Carolina.
Yeah. So,
and Billy, before we hit a break, the big 3 sports, which do you feel this season in particular feels like the biggest hurdle for the team? A&M football, I fully expected to win. By the time we got to the Texas basketball game, I fully expected to win. And maybe not preseason, right? But I'm saying by the time we got to that point. But baseball, it to me, it seems like it's the bigger challenge of the 3 heading into the match. But it's baseball.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, look, again, I'll say this. Texas A&M was a better football team than Texas last year. They were not a better team that night. That's fine. Like, you can disagree with me. If you do, you show me, like, you guys, there are a lot of Texas fans that like to listen to this. There's a lot of fans of LSU, OU, other places. Like, most of them have enough common sense, but for some reason, the ones that will take what I say, they don't have the common sense, or they can't put their ego out of the way to just simply say, yes, A&M was better. They went 11-1, and we went 9-3. Period. And that's with a head-to-head win. In the other games, not head-to-head, it was 11-2 and 8-3. I mean, 11-0 and 8-3. So A&M was the better football team. Texas was better that day. So going into that game, hell yeah, I thought, I mean, the road environment, I knew Texas was playing better. I thought that was going to be a really tough game to win. I thought the Aggies would prevail very close. Texas was better that day, and A&M was a better team. Basketball, I think they were equal. I know Texas went 1 game further. They also didn't have U of H in front of them. They had Gonzaga. I think they split 2 games, were each one at their arena. They both went out in round 1 of the tournament. And A&M was 11-7 in the conference. Texas was 9-9. If each of them win 1 more or lose 1 more, they're even. They were dead even last year to me. First year of a coach. So that one was a toss-up. This baseball team, they're ranked higher for a reason. They've played better baseball this season. They've played like a national title contender this year. I don't think A&M has played to that level yet. And to me, the reason why is the pitching needs to get there. And again, to start to push in that direction, the pitching needs to get there this weekend. So yeah, this is one of the three sports that you mentioned. The other two, I think Texas A&M was better, even, and now Texas is the better team to this point in the season, no question.
As a reminder, the final segment of the program is brought to you by Double Dave's. That's at 10:50. But right now, caller number 12, 979-693-1150. We're going to hook you up with your choice of a dozen pepperoni rolls or a large one-topping pizza from Double Dave's. They've been serving Aggieland since 1984 with your favorite pizza and, of course, those world-famous pepperoni rolls. Reliable in-house delivery, bringing piping hot goodness straight to your door. Just click on doubledaves.com, and your favorites are on their way. And we're back. It is TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We're in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Do you think it's going to be the best atmosphere you've ever seen for a baseball series, college baseball series?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I was thinking because I'm like super regional against Louisville when they hadn't been to Omaha in so long. Super regional against Slosh and TCU.
Yep.
Super regional against Oregon. See, to me, that regional against Oregon, that was epic,
yes,
incredible, crazy to think that Slosh knew he was leaving and sitting there witnessing. He might be listening right now, by the way, like sitting there witnessing that environment, that atmosphere, that baseball team, watching Braden go down, watching Sadeo go down, watching Caden Kent with the grand slam, and knowing that you're leaving that behind. What a weird position to be in, like mentally, you know, and not to mention kind of having to keep all of that hidden for that long. Think about like while that's going on, like how crazy a position to be in. That's not like I'm not feeling empathy for him at all, but just because that was a situation he created. But just to be there and do that, like that's like as good as it gets in baseball. I would say that Clemson Super Regional years ago, when I was still a student, maybe I had just graduated, but when they won the Super, that to me was peak. But we saw this, man. We saw this 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, when A&M beat Texas at a regional. That was on tilt. I won't say who it was, but all of you know him. I'm sitting there. There's a Longhorn up there being pretty disrespectful. And I'm not going to shot at Texas. Every fan base has got them.
Yep.
We're going to have some. I mean, you go back to that World Series game against Florida and those two. Like, there's always somebody. There's been some funny memes with those two lately where they're like, A&M's definitely bringing these two guys back for this one. But the guy was really disrespectful, and I could tell the person I was sitting next to was just bubbling over with rage. And A&M scores those 2 runs to take the lead late, and I high five and I turn, and we're sitting in the stands, and I'm high five, and I turn back and he's gone, and I look and he's going triple steps up the stairs after this guy, gets in his face, is yelling at him, and then they go at it. So like that was intense, the whole thing about that. And by the way, that was with Slosh. That was before he left. And again, he was coaching against Texas that night, knowing he was leaving to take that job. So another wild one to say but for someone that would say, well, what if he didn't coach up to standard in that game because he knew he was going there? 2 reasons. Number one, I don't believe he ever did that, even in Omaha. Distracted? Sure. Emotionally, like
checked out?
Stressed, not checked out. No, I don't.
Okay.
The guy coached for 30 years and was 1 game away from winning a World Series. Like his whole career is to try to win that. There was no world that he was checked out or didn't care or wasn't trying. If you think that, I just think you don't know.
But I think the distracted part to me plays a part in like, you're always, like when you don't have, I don't know how I want to explain this, but the motivation for greatness is a 24-hour job, in my opinion.
I agree.
And if you are distracted, you're doing the best you can, half empty.
I agree with that. I totally agree. And maybe when it's getting to late innings and you're down, you're kind of quicker to just go, oh man, like subconsciously, like that just. But I don't believe. I think 1,000%. And going back to that Texas game, of course you wanted to win because the last thing you needed was David Pierce to win that game and Texas to win that regional and somehow find their way to Omaha.
Right.
Because that blows the whole deal up anyway. So more than anything, that game was a want to win. But I saw that atmosphere, and I thought nothing could top it. But if A&M can go out and compete in the late innings tonight and maybe win and set the stage for Saturday, and if it's a winner-take-all, on Sunday, or I'm not expecting A&M to go and sweep the number 2 team, but if certain situations play out, like Saturday and Sunday could be unreal. But I especially think tonight it's going to be 10 out of 10. I hope the Aggies come out and let that crowd carry them in those late innings.
I want to follow that up because we know Kyle Field can impact the game. Bluebell can impact the game. Some of these players in this weekend don't have the history that we have, right? Some of them. There's only 7 players returning from that team. But I wonder mentally what it does to Valantis or whomever is pitching, and it is really you against the world because that world is coming after you and what it does to you mentally. Some people are better in that situation.
Yeah.
Some people crater.
Yeah, for sure. And you gotta the game's got to be in a situation where you can let that crowd test that. I always say, like, you go back to that Texas and A&M game in football 2 years ago. That goal line stand, I got into it with Amanda the other day. She's like, even if they scored there, it's not like they were taking the lead. They were down by 10. I go, that's true. And if A&M wouldn't have scored again, they lose that game 17-14. But if you're down 17-0 and the team controls the whole game, and Quinn Ewers fumbles and he throws a pick six, and you block a punt and you score right after that, and by the way, you might have been able to pick that thing up and run it in.
Yeah.
But 17-14 after 17-0 like that.
That place?
And all I wanted to see was them figure out a way to get that ball in, because what I wanted to see was Quinn Ewers come out with his back in the north end zone and the zone club and all that, and try to lead Texas down the field up 3 with 5 or 6 minutes left in the game after he threw a pick six and fumbled the ball in the red zone. Like, put him to the test in the most hostile, deafening environment he will have ever played in, because that's what would have happened to Kyle Field had the Aggies punched it in. You've got to put these people to the test. So, Volantis is a great pitcher, and he's pitched in some clutch moments for sure. Not the peak of it, because they didn't go to Omaha last year. They didn't play in a super regional last year. But the dude has proven that he's got stones, right? But put him in a position on a Sunday where it's winner take all. Put the Longhorn bullpen that has pitched much better of late, but struggled for a stretch there a couple weeks earlier. Put them in a position where they have to throw strikes late in games, which they couldn't do. I think it was at Auburn, and I forget the series they played prior to that. But there were a couple series in a row where they were really struggling to throw strikes, the bullpen, and put them to a test in this environment in a close game. But that's up to the A&M players to do early in those games to carry it late.
We'll hit a break. We'll come back with the final segment of TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. And we're back here on TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. Billy, I'm going to say Friday, today, is the most important game of the series. And the reason I think so, and look, I know you can win the series if you win Saturday, Sunday. I recognize that. But to me, the change in rotation feels like they're going all in on Friday because they feel so good about Aiden Sims on a Saturday. Right? If they don't win today, Aiden Sims can win, and then you piecemeal it because your offense gets hot on Sunday. I recognize it. But with the possibility of Shane going for, let's say, 5 innings, and then Weston Moss coming in, Clayton Freshcorn finishing it up, like I think they're going all in on Friday because of their faith in Aiden Sims on a Saturday. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
Any analysis you would like to provide?
No, I totally agree.
I said it all.
I think Friday is, to me, the biggest game. Yeah. And I just think if they can they never got on top of that series last year.
Mm-hmm.
They never had.
They were right there.
I don't think they ever had more than a 1-run lead. I don't think they ever led up. Actually, on Sunday they did. I think on Sunday they jumped out a little bit, but like early in that series, they could have just closed out the Friday night or even the Saturday to make Sunday a winner take. Like they never took. Baseball is such a sport, right, of mental. It's such a mental sport. Masters is going on. I always say golf and baseball, to me, are the two most mental games. And they never shifted. I mean, it was pressure-packed for both sides, but they never, were out in front to set the pace or just relieve a little of that pressure and go up feeling free and loose. Like, if you could win Friday and go in Saturday and just go to sleep tonight and be like, man, we can get up and win a series tomorrow. And put pressure on Schloss. Like, this is a mega, it is a series of the highest level of importance in Early's mind, and everybody can try to act like it's not, but it is. And if you act like, oh no, it's like every other series, you're just lying. You're just lying. It carries more. I get the analytical, like you're looking at it like a doctor or a scientist.
Mathematically,
it counts the same. And I also understand, and I fully understand that if A&M loses this series, it is not the end of the world for this baseball team. It might be for all the fans, and they feel like that this weekend, but it is not. But you're lying if you say that this series is not bigger than the other 9, because it freaking is for both teams. So, Early it's a lot on his plate, but you're insane if you don't think if A&M wins tonight that Jim Schlossnagle is going to be very wound up. And the last thing in the world he wants to do is lose this series for reasons that go beyond the 30-game schedule, no matter what he says. So, put the pressure on them. Put the pressure on that coach. It's like having you go into halftime and you're down.
Right.
And you go, man, we got to figure this out. So yeah, that's why I agree with you. I think Friday is the biggest one.
Billy,
we're not.
We're going to keep going. Let's go.
We definitely have to talk some football.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, I was a little late.
A little? 22 minutes late. Do you know the amount of tap dancing I had to do in that?
We have Reese.
We both tap danced.
The commercial.
We read the encyclopedia. And
I would. I like to point fingers of blame when I'm late, and I want to, but the people are too good to me. There, I can't do it.
Okay. So you're putting the blame on somebody else this particular day.
100%.
But what about last week?
I got to breakfast. I did it.
Oh.
The good folks at Another Broken Egg did not make me late. It had nothing to do with it.
But the people around you there, your guest?
No, and then...
What if I have stuff to do?
I had a yappy guest that yapped a few minutes longer than they needed to before we ordered, so that slowed it down.
But that's on you. That's
not
on the guest.
And then there was heavy traffic from ring day, so I blame the people getting their ring.
Well burned to here, you go through the neighborhood. You're here 5 seconds.
No, it was a crowd of people walking. You don't want to run people over to get their ring.
I do game days all the time.
Oh, I was about to get my Aggie ring. I put in all the work, but somebody was late to TexAgs, and they smoked me in the neighborhood.
How about this? Going to breakfast earlier.
It's a thought.